Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here in Baton Rouge. Expect partly cloudy skies with a high of about 85. In hour one of today's show, Jake and T-Bob react to LSU's regional win over Oregon State, and they'll preview the Super Regionals. Hour one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's up? Can you feel it, boys? First Baton Rouge Super Regional since 2019. Think about that. Man. It's been a while. It's been 4 years, Jake. 4 long years since the LSU Tigers have been in this position. But following yesterday's handling of the Oregon State Beavers, in which there was an offensive explosion combined with just some solid pitching, we'll get into that. LSU sweeps. In the end, a perfect 3-0 for Jay Johnson's crew as they move out of the Super Regional, one of 6 SEC teams to do so. Remember, a record 10 SEC teams making the NCAA tournament, 8 of the 16 hosting, and 6 end up advancing. What's shocking to me, Jake, 6 advanced, and 2 of them are not Arkansas and Vanderbilt. So, look, and I only bring that up to say, do not take for granted what you just witnessed this weekend, okay? Winning at this time of the year is incredibly hard. It's incredibly fraught with peril. You never, like, all it takes is one bad out. Like, okay, for instance, let's say Jay Johnson decided to hold Paul Skeens for game 2. That could have been it for LSU, right? You never know what happens on Friday. He'd still probably be Tulane, I'm assuming, right? Though even with Skeens, that game is maybe a bit closer than you wanted. But then what? You waste Skeens on 3 innings in game number 2, and who knows what happens after that. So the point is, it's a delicate dance, and LSU did it to the utmost of their ability. They handle themselves, they sweep, and now they're into the Super Regionals, and you got the Kentucky Wildcats coming to town. I want to get into yesterday's game, but I'm hyped up this morning for this LSU baseball team kicking off summer the right way as we still get to watch baseball.
Yeah, they pushed all the right buttons, like you mentioned. I mean, Paul Skeens on Friday, coming in with Thatcher Hurd after the rain delay, going all in for that game, not saving him for a possible Game 3 situation. So every button that Jay pushed, it worked out well for the Tigers. And so now you go into a Super Regional, and obviously we'll get there, but you have everything available to you, which is exactly what you want and when you want it available because of the days that the guys ended up pitching. So LSU gets it done. They find a way. You had some timely hits. You had some high-powered offense. You had some guys coming out of the bullpen. Look, at the last inning, I'm going to throw that away. Last inning, you're up big. You're throwing strikes. You're pitching to contact.
Yeah.
Those runs being scored in there, honestly, don't mean anything to me. The bullpen did a nice job when they were called upon. They weren't called upon many times. But you had guys that stepped up. And so right now, the Tigers kind of got back some of that mojo that maybe they lost over the last couple of weeks of the season, right? They kind of played bully ball. They were leaving the ballpark. Guys that you've been waiting to kind of step up, they kind of did that at the plate. Like a Josh Pearson had a hell of a tournament, right? That's a player that we've known his freshman year had that ability. He comes in and shows you he has found that. Again, of course, the guys that have been hitting have continued to hit as well.
Yeah, and so, I mean, look, in the end, this final game against Oregon State, like we told you yesterday morning, look, the LSU pitching was going to be what it was going to be. And in the end, it was solid. It sounds weird, but in this year's college baseball against that lineup, in a final game of the regional situation, right, where everybody's staffs are pretty depleted, I'll take 7 runs or 2 runs per pitcher, right? Because you have been maybe the best offense in America all year long, and so you have to play like it. Like, eventually you have to win on your strength. That's exactly what LSU did yesterday. You knew Oregon State was out of pitching. You had to take advantage. And now, when you look, Jake, remember, down 2 starters coming into this, Oregon State was, in the 2 games against the Beavers, you hit 9 home runs, 2 triples, 2 doubles. You finished 5 of 17 with runners in scoring position, even with all the bases loaded gaffes from Sunday night. So a just great performance. And I love that you mentioned guys who even want to step up, get it done again, because you can go down the list. And, I mean, it's everybody, but nobody greater than Dylan Cruz, who has refound that godly, otherworldly dominance that we were referencing coming out of Hoover, right? Basically saying, look, Dylan Cruz is still incredible for the average human. He's just maybe a tick below where he was when he was truly otherworldly. And, well, it looks like he's launched back into space as he finishes as the regionals most outstanding player. He hits a home run off the Tony sign yesterday. It was his 2-run shot that really kind of played the audio yesterday, kind of caused the entire collective city of Baton Rouge to exhale in relief to make it 3-2 in game 1 against Oregon State. He finishes 8 of 13, so .615 average for the tournament, 2 home runs, 4 ribbies, now batting .432 on the year, 1 tick ahead of Rafe Rhymes' record at .431, saying, quote, I have a deeper will to win and compete with my teammates. The more fun I have, the better I play. And you could tell, man, that dugout was having fun yesterday, whether it was Travinsky and Beloso celebrating their back-to-back jacks, or Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz embracing one another while staring at each other in the eyes and sticking their tongues out. I really thought they were going to make out for a second. They did not. But the point is, this is a team that's having a lot of fun. They're playing loose right now, and everybody found success yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the lineup and you look at what everybody did. Like, we could sit here, we could talk about Dylan Cruz all day long, but I think important yesterday, Trey Morgan getting 2 hits, right? He needed that. Travinsky and Beloso continue to stay hot. Crazy. Travinsky is 3 of 6, Beloso 2 of 6. You mentioned it back-to-back yet again. Gavin Dugas getting 2 hits feels really important. Josh Pearson continuing to hit. But for me, it's Trey Morgan and it's Dugas getting a couple of hits apiece. They've been struggling a little bit. Certainly Dugas, since the injury, he has been struggling. Morgan has not, been the same guy as well. Not striking out a ton, but for his numbers, I mean, he is so good at the plate. Play discipline's been so good over the last couple of years. To his standard, he certainly has been struggling. Gets that average back over 300 because it dipped into the 290s. And so that, for me, was kind of something that stood out yesterday. And the main story is going to be you had nothing but Johnny Holstaff arms, and you're able to go out there and pitch like you did.
Yeah, I think I would add one more to the guys who needed to pick me up. They got one, and not as much nearly as Dugas or Morgan, but Tommy White, right? We saw him really pushing early in this regional. Couldn't come up with the big hit. Just sitting there at 91 ribbies. I know he was a little frustrated. Well, yesterday, bases loaded. What's he do? Just poke one out the infield. I mean, not poke. I mean, it was moving, right? But he comes up with a hit, kind of breaks that streak. So it was just go down the list. Everybody had positive moments yesterday. Taylor, can you take pictures from the document? It's kind of hard, right? I figure, okay, well, never mind. We'll get it later. This picture of Josh Pearson doing the Tommy White arms cross celebration is just objectively funny.
I think he was the first one that did it, like as a, hey, Tommy White's done it. He did it early in the season. I think he was the first one.
Wait, Josh was actually the first one?
So.
Oh, yeah. Wow. What? How did he ever arrive? That was the best way to show off his
well, I think Tommy – so Tommy Tanks does it, and then he kind of – he hit a double, I think it was, and he did it as well, and then the whole team started doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pearson doing it is objectively funny. Still crazy how different the body type between him and his little brother appear to be, because I don't think Big Bad John can move like Josh can. Now, I think he can hit more. I think he has a little more pop, right? But, dude, Josh can fly. How fast he got. You see now why Jay Johnson so desperately needed Pearson to catch on, especially hitting in the 9-hole. He just offers something more dangerous than anything you've had. Even even when Milazzo was hitting like 330 in that spot, right? He didn't have the dynamism or the danger that Josh Pearson brings to bear. And look, in the regional, Pearson finishes 4 of 11, 5 ribbies, 2 triples. And now when you look, since May 14th, so a couple of months, he has raised his average 37 points. Yeah. So great job by Pearson.
There's a couple of things that just continue to amaze me. And when Hunt came in here yesterday, I think it was after the show, we were talking. I can't remember a guy like Hayden Travinsky coming in at the portion of the season that he did And not just like helping out the team and kind of being a nice story, hitting a couple of big home runs. Like he's batting .427.
Yeah, it's insane.
He has 10 home runs in like a handful of games. He was 3 of 6, as I mentioned yesterday. It's like a home run. We'll have to redo the math, but at one point it was every 6 at bats.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah,
a home run. I mean, he hit one out of the stadium a couple of days ago. Hits another one yesterday. I can't remember an LSU player to come in and have that kind of impact. I mean, right now when you look at it, he's wouldn't qualify maybe, but to Cruz's 432, he's 427. I mean, he's right underneath that. And just to put that into your lineup, something that was your third catcher in the fall, and now he's your cleanup hitter, and he's as terrifying as anybody up there at the plate. And
again, remember, a mega nerd. Okay, you can do both kids. He when we talked to him, all he was do, he was just pumped. I mean, just saying, you would not guess that what that man was most excited to do is play Pokemon on the bus. Yeah. Not if you saw that mustache, not if you saw that size, or when he's just out there mashing
and he's
home runs.
A gift machine as well.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Oh man, I had something to add on Travinsky. Oh, did he? So is he at 10 now?
Yes, he's at 10. So he's the 8th player, I believe.
I think he's 9th.
Okay.
I think that's what I was going to say. I want to say LSU was already at 8 players with 10 home runs. I believe they should now be up to 9, but we can look it up. Look, I do want to look at kind of what happened around as well. We'll get into the Wes Johnson news as LSU loses their pitching coach for the 2nd year in a row.
Yeah, Josh Brooks, chill out.
Yeah, I know, dude. But I also do again want to highlight that. Well, look, I don't think the choice to start Paul Skeens on Friday, I don't think is like I think there's valid debate to be had there. If you're someone who feels that the choice was super clear cut either way, I don't know that I agree, right? Because well, I don't know. There are people who just, whatever. The point of all of this is that in the end, if this is a results-based business, which it absolutely is, Jay Johnson's, Paul Skeens' choice was perfect. And I can understand whatever preconceived quibbles you might have had, but again, it is possible to argue with the results. You got the win. He went a complete game, saving your entire bullpen. He didn't get wasted in the rain, and LSU ends up sweeping because of all these elements, right? That treat every game like a playoff game, go all in. And now you're going to have Paul Skeens on normal rest coming out Friday. Like it could not have worked out more perfectly. So credit to Jay Johnson, being the chess master and strategically moving and employing his pieces exactly as he needed to.
This is NJ we trust at this point.
Yeah.
After what he's done, and okay, he pulls that string, and everybody's questioning that, and it worked out perfectly. So when you look at what it could have been, and you mentioned it already a couple of times, like he could have given you only 3 innings because of the rain delay. So like that's even something that, you got to take into account as well. So, what Jay's been able to do, what he did last year with the pitching staff, what he's finding a way now to do with the pitching staff, it's remarkable. I mean, obviously, like his MO is a hitting coach.
Yeah.
But combined with Wes Johnson, who I know, again, we'll get to that news, it's been amazing to me what they've done, just piecing it together. Now, this year was because of injuries. Last year was because of roster, but just finding a way to get as many innings possibly out of, a staff that at times has certainly struggled. So, quick update on numbers. I think it is. You got Travinsky that has 10, Thompson, Jobert, Beloso, Dugas, Jones, Cruz, and White. So it is 8.
So it's not up to 9. Okay, 8 guys with now 10 home runs.
And Travinsky now, he's hitting a home run. He's got, this one's the one that gets me, 10 home runs in 18 starts. But it is 82 at-bats, 10 home runs. So home run every 8 at-bats.
Jeez. I mean, it feels, what's wild is that's such a high rate that it actually feels like it's like every second at bat. like every time he steps into the box, it feels like a coin flip as to whether or not Hayden Travinsky is going to hit another home run. Okay, why don't we do this? We're going to go to break. When we get back, let's look at some of the other results. What are the supers? Talk Wes Johnson to Georgia. As that news broke, Pete Thamel is waiting immediately for the game to end. And, maybe a little LSU Kentucky as well. We got Nick Underhill coming up later on. There's a familiar face back on LSU football. We'll discuss that once again. It's very funny to me. And we got OTB Mailbag. Look, it's going to be a great morning here on Off the Bench, okay? Summer is here, and we're celebrating. We're not debuting any new segments today, but we do have a couple. Tier list coming up this Friday as well. We're going to rank HBO shows in honor of Max, the place for HBO. We're going to rank their greatest shows of all time this Friday. All right, coming up next, more baseball. Keep it locked right here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You know what Jay Johnson did not do? He did not overthink it, okay? He did not overthink it. He said, I'm going to put my best players in normal position to win the game. And in the same way, when you overthink it, you don't overthink it either, okay? Just pick up the phone, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, and get Central Plumbing out there to fix your plumbing problems. And I don't care if it's commercial, residential, I should say I don't care if it's residential or commercial, right? If you have like an office building that you need your plumbing needs met, they have the insurance paperwork and personnel to do so. They have 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing, warranty. They're the best. Licensed, bond insured, centralplumbing.org.
So he didn't overthink it.
Nope.
Or overthink it.
He did not overthink
but if
it
he
or
did,
overthink it.
But if he did, he could call 225-925-8552, and he could get Central Plumbing out there 24/7. Like, that's anytime. Like, maybe even in the middle of a game. I don't know. But they could come out there, and they could fix it.
You know, I mean, look, if Cooper and Ackenhausen go back-to-back in the bathroom, 925-8552. Easy money.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Right off the bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 104.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. The Tigers advance. We start taking a look at the Baton Rouge Super Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Jake, you see anything in the chat? Are you looking in the chat? I don't have the chat pulled up. I can't. My this Wi-Fi not really working on this old lappy. Lappy's not really getting it done.
Yeah, you're about to blame the internet, but I think we figured out the main issue.
I agree.
You're growing.
I agree. It's the old lappy.
I'm glad.
It's what it is.
Yeah, in the chat. So when Dylan Cruz hit the wall yesterday, I think a lot of people probably held their. So I was listening on the radio. I had just gotten done. I had to get in the car. I had to run an errand. I'm feeling pretty confident about the score, but I turned on Chris Blair and the fellas. And when he hit the wall, I think it was Doug that kind of made a noise and then went silent. I'm like, oh, Doug, I need you to talk.
Yeah.
I need you to talk, Doug.
Give me something.
Talk.
Because it wasn't like he got up quickly. Like, it wasn't like he, laid there. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a terrifying pregnant pause from Dougie there.
Yeah, when you couldn't see and you could only hear, I was like, say it ain't so.
So glad to see that Cruz is okay. Look, that's that will to win that Cruz was talking about. So it is kind of crazy, right? What we say first time since 2019. 2019, the LSU is going to be hosting a super regional, and 6 other SEC teams will be joining them as the Florida Gators punch their ticket. They win 6-0 against Texas Tech to advance. Jake, I didn't quite realize maybe how much pressure was on Sully and the Gators. They had lost 3 regionals at home 3 years in a row. They had gotten knocked out at home in regionals, and this year they were staring down the exact same fate, about to make it 4 in a row, and they win 3 elimination games consecutively to emerge, so credit to the Gators.
They played bad against Florida A&M, but found a way to obviously win that one, and then they lose to Texas Tech, and it's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And remember, they just got that new ballpark, a lot of money, a lot of investment, finally, because it's a program actually that needed it for a long time, and they got it. They hadn't been able to go to a super regional, so that is big for Florida, even though it's a program that has won national championships. It is a blue blood program in college baseball, but still recent struggles.
LSU obviously advances. Kentucky advances, and LSU will now be squaring up with Kentucky. They come out of their own Lexington Regional. And then how about South Carolina, man? A team that many were surprised was still given a host spot, but they did so much good work early on that it got them there. A team that looked dead as they ended the season losing 4 straight losing 4 straight series. They go 1-2 in Hoover. And, what's crazy is a switch flip, Jake. Because despite all the injuries, despite all the struggles, I think they had the second easiest path to Wake Forest. I shouldn't say easiest. They handled their path the best, second only to Wake Forest, as they outscore their opponents. The Gamecocks do 41-11 over the weekend. Just pure domination from South Carolina. So Kendall Rogers, remember, before the season started, told us that was his dark horse team. And here they look, playing hot with a potential chance to head to Omaha.
Yeah, and it's a team that certainly, when you look at their ballpark, they play well to that ballpark, and they've had ups, they've had downs, certainly, but it's a team that has a lot of talent. They got maybe the best freshman in the country, and he continues to show up. And so South Carolina certainly is a team that can make a run.
Yeah.
Florida right now, you're trying to figure out which team are they. Again, going back to it, like in the SEC tournament, they had a nice run. Vanderbilt won the tournament, but what does that really mean? So, Florida kind of limps into this. South Carolina didn't have any struggles and didn't have the most difficult regional. Not throwing shade to NC State or to Campbell, but, Campbell is a team that was feast or famine. That's who they were. If their offense showed up, they were great. If they didn't have the pitching to really go into South Carolina and win that regional, but they did what they had to do it. Now it sets up a rematch with the Florida Gators. I love having a conference. I know some people might. I love having a conference matchup like this in the Supers. You know that team so well.
Yeah.
Baseball's a sport of analytics. Well, you've got all the numbers. You've got everything that you possibly could. You've scouted that team already. You've played that team already. You know strengths. You know weaknesses. And so it's going to come down to maybe one or two decisions by the head coach and what could, get you to Omaha.
Yeah, it is interesting, Jake. It should. Who does that behoove? Like knowing that, I feel like that probably plays better for the better team. Simply because if you are more talented, you both know each other better, then it's harder to kind of get hit with any surprise kind of hooks or punches. Like, I guess I keep thinking back to what Chipper Jones said, right? Where it's like, if I knew a guy, like if I had seen film on him, and I basically could own anybody. The only time I kind of felt out of my depth a little bit is if I ran into a guy that I'd just never seen before. And so in that same way, I believe LSU is more talented than Kentucky. So I think it's probably a bit of an advantage for them that they already have played. And obviously LSU went to Lexington earlier this year and got it done. And it was a close series. It's not like you dominated Friday because Paul Skeens. And you run ruled that 16-6 on Friday. Remember, Saturday, you had the big 10-4 lead. Kind of looked like you had it wrapped up and everything fell. Or it might not have been 10-4, but you had a lead.
It was 7-4 and up 7-6.
Yeah, that's what it was, 7-4. And then they end up just going on a tear over the last 3 innings. You lose that game 13-10.
But I like the matchups. I like the fact that you have history. Like South Carolina swept Florida this year.
True.
And so, okay, well, what did you do well? Can you replicate what you did well? Can Florida take a look at the tape and can they fix that? Same thing with LSU and Kentucky. Like, you can look at the tape. You know Kentucky knows your ballpark now because they came here already. Is that, a slight, not an advantage for them, but something that can help them out? The fact that they know how the ballpark, might play a little bit better than they normally would. So we got a couple of those here in the Super Regionals coming up. You also have one, I believe, who is, Duke and UVA. That's the other one.
Yeah.
ACC. So again, you know each other. I think Duke took 2 of 3 against UVA, even though UVA is going to be the host there. So I like that. That's intriguing to me because it really gets down to the nitty-gritty of a decision here, a decision there, and you're familiar with your opponent.
So that's okay. Then we got 2 more SC teams that made it. Alabama, who obviously just had an insane year with Brad Bohannon being fired. They've been so hot lately. And never forget, in the midst of this heater, LSU swept Alabama. The problem for Alabama is they have to square up with Wake Forest. They go on the road. If they pass that test, well, that might be the I think that would easily be the upset of the year. And then you hate to see it, Jake. Don't look now. But old Tony Tears and the Volunteers have found their way to Supers Week after breaking Clemson's 17-game win streak. We broke it down yesterday, a mere 6 inches from being, from their season being done. And now
I wouldn't say that. How what was that, about
5?
Yeah, about 5.
It looks like 6 to me.
That's what I was hoping you would do.
And now, because that's just how sports work, like, maybe a potential better chance to make Omaha than they had last year with their incredible 25-5 team winners in Hoover, et cetera. Although I'd be careful about Southern Miss, okay? LSU already know. We learned last year. But also, what's their coach's name? And who pointed out in the chat? Chris Maringo.
Isn't their coach retiring after this year?
So that's what he points out, right? Okay. Tennessee will have a handful of Southern Miss. Their coach is retiring. Last time they had the coach retire, and USM went all the way to Omaha. I wasn't aware of that. But if it is a guy that the players legitimately like, there can be extra juice squeezed from that situation. Because if you really love this man, you want to try everything you can to send him out on top. Jake, I'm a little unclear where this regional is going to be played. Is it going to be played in Knoxville? Do we know yet?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because when I was looking these up on ESPN earlier, some said it was Bama at Wake Forest, South Carolina at Florida, but TCU and Indiana State was verse. Southern Miss, Tennessee verse. Oral Roberts, Oregon verse. Then it's Texas at Stanford, Duke at Virginia, Kentucky at LSU. So I think it's going to be played in Lindsey Nelson, but I'm not 100% sure there. But yeah, man, all these. So it looks like, okay, how many SEC teams can make it? Bama's not going to beat Wake Forest. So we'll say no there. Definite in South Carolina, Florida. Definite in LSU, Kentucky. And then Tennessee. Okay, so not how many ended up making it last year? Was it like 4 of the 8? I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like potentially 2 to 3 of the 8 will make it again this year.
You have 2 guaranteed, obviously. So the streak of SEC continuing to dominate Omaha is still well alive.
Okay, Sasquatch Smash in the chat saying, I hope the committee has decided to put that super in Hattiesburg. I guess we'll find out at 9 a.m. So it looks like the committee has to reconvene, and that's, I'm guessing, where we'll see where TCU, Indiana State, Southern Miss, Tennessee, and Oral Roberts, Oregon.
Well, TCU, Indiana State's going to be at TCU. Now, Indiana State is a national seed. They hosted a regional, but they cannot host a super regional. They did not put the bid in to host a super regional because Indiana State has hosted the Indiana Special Olympics for the last 51 years.
Well, don't they know that they could just turn their dorms into hotels like Kentucky did?
So they don't have the same setup and same situation. The hotels, they would be too far away to host a super regional. They don't have the manpower, the infrastructure to be able to handle it with these, with the other event going on right now. And again, they've been doing it for the last 51 years. And so I did see a cool thing where TCU fans, they were like, hey, you deserve to host a super regional. We know you can't. So they're donating a ton of money to the Indiana Special Olympics right now. It's been a very, very high total. We'll see if we can get you an actual number there. But Indiana State would normally host, but they didn't put the bid in because they knew they couldn't handle both events at the same time.
Hunt saying that Southern Miss and Tennessee both submitted bids, and we'll find out this morning. Well, that's about the most wholesome reason I've ever heard for not being allowed to host. So here's to hoping that also because I would love for nothing more than Tennessee to lose. I love drinking those salty Volunteers up. And so go Eagles, fly Eagles, Golden Eagles. What do we say? What do they say? They have like a claw.
I just think of Frank Gore's son trying to do the interview and his aunt coming up to him. That's what I think of when I think Southern Miss.
Get out of here, Auntie.
Yeah, this is my moment.
Oral Roberts, Oregon is interesting in that I know nothing about it. I'm excited to see.
Look,
Oral Roberts. They both start with O.
Oral Roberts, shout out. You were as a 4 seed. Like that's like basketball terms, like a 14, 15 seed pulling off the upset, and you did it. You've done it in basketball, by the way, as well. So congratulations, but that does nothing. Like that super regional does nothing for it. Like when I look across, and I've got LSU, Kentucky, Duke, UVA, Florida, South Carolina. We continue to keep on going. The one that's
Texas
least exciting.
And Stanford. You're talking about 2 of the biggest baseball brands ever.
Yes, Oral Roberts and Oregon.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I can't wait. I'm already getting nervous for this weekend.
Oh yeah, I thought you'd be very happy. I thought we would talk about that earlier. No more bubbles will be blown in College Station this year.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I don't know, man. Even when I tweeted about it the other day or last week in Hoover, it was very funny because I tweeted, look, I don't really care about losing the game. Like the only thing that I care about is losing to adults that blow bubbles. And even Billy Lucci and all the A&M people were like, I can't even argue with this. Like it's one of those things where it's like a family member that you love, but maybe you're like kind of ashamed of them a little bit. And so you just got to be like, I'm sorry, it's his thing. He has like this, it's a tick.
It's like, who is that?
Burps.
And you just like mumble, it's my brother.
Yeah, it's my brother. Look, he's a good dude. Don't judge him, okay? Like it's just a tick, okay? I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's okay. Sorry, A&M. Enjoy College Station. I said, but hey, you know what though? At least Aggie fans have football season to look forward to, okay? Because we're about to get that Bobby Petrino offense down in college. Let's go, dude. Connor Wegman and Petrino. Seems like an SEC West title to me, dude. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Another example, I think, and I don't want to keep hammering this point, but SEC baseball tournament, a team that looked like, okay, they're about to go on a run. And look, they made it to regional, but the teams that went on a run, a deep run, did not, kind of parlay that into the next weekend. Now, some advanced and survived, but it's an interesting case study. Ever since we talked to Coach Mulkey, and she kind of gave us some insight into a head coach's mind, like somebody's actually going to tell you exactly, how they're going to handle that situation, which you don't always get. Pretty enlightening.
Yeah, and look at like, it's like, okay, you wanted to win that Arkansas game. You pushed Paul Skeens to 120 pitches against Tulane. Was it worth pushing him to 100 in a game that didn't matter? No. That's why you threw him for 75 and you kept him moving. And he was able to get the extra rest and be good to go and keep his rhythm going. Okay, everybody, let's put all of our energy towards Southern Miss hosting, though. Okay, so if you're out there listening on YouTube or the car now, just take like 3 seconds and just think about the Golden Eagles getting awarded the host site so Lindsey Nelson isn't able to.
I mean, I'm with you. But I'm sure there's some LSU fans, T, that Southern Miss isn't their favorite.
No, I know.
Is this like the lesser of two evils?
It's exactly what it is. It's a lesser of two evils. Okay. All right. It's gonna do like a Mussolini and Hitler thing. I don't know.
That doesn't feel right.
No, it's maybe a little heavy.
Yeah. It's 7:35.
Let's say it's like
not that there's a right time for that.
You got like I don't know, maybe like pickles and asparagus on the plate, right? Whichever one. Actually, I like both. So my analogies are falling apart here. Let's go to break. When we get back, let's talk Wes Johnson here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
All right, let's say ah. super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Super regional or super sad? Plus Glenn West and Sharif Ishak. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I've been out here waiting for nightfall. It feels so right when the lights don't fade. Days like this don't last, so we might start. We've been living like kings and we hope it don't change.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. David Knockquin saying, I still can't believe they hired Petrino. It feels like an SEC short skit. It kind of actually does. Chris H says, I call the Bobby Petrino Jimbo Fisher experiment Project Bimbo. That'd be very funny. Like, you know how like LSU has to follow and stuff? What if they had their own content team making Project Bimbo? The recreation of the Texas A&M offense. Jake, is there any chance that we end up with egg on our face for making so much fun of the Aggies for hiring Bobby Petrino? Like, I guess I have some fear in the back of my mind that Petrino actually is going to have a very positive impact. And I guess it's almost a bit like it's a bit of the same thing that I'm thinking about with Tennessee and baseball right now, right? Where like the year when you're supposed to be awesome, you're not, and the year where you're supposed to suck, well, maybe then you kind of get it back a little bit. Not that Tennessee was supposed to suck, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's called the I guess it's kind of like the Auburn thing. It's what they did during the Gus Malzahn era. Anytime that you pre-crowned them, they were bad. Anytime you thought they were going to be bad, they ended up being good.
I'll kind of go back when I look at Missouri State's offense last year in the FCS ranks. They were in the 50s offensively.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He doesn't have a lot of that's fair.
So they had a good game against Arkansas. They did. Shout out to them. But for the most part, last season, they were in the middle of the FCS offensively. So do I think it's going to work? I don't. Could they surprise us? Anything can happen, but I would be surprised. You're marrying two offenses that, you know, the best of it was yesteryear, and you're trying to make it work now.
Yeah.
How do you make that work now? How do you implement those things that we're talking about? And a lot of people can say, like, offense is offense. It's all just very similar to each other. It's a move here, it's a move there. And I'm just not a believer in that. I think there'd have to be wholesale changes in what they do and the philosophy and their mindset. So I don't think that's going to happen. Would be shocked if it did.
Well, we still don't even know how much Petrino's actually, like, how much power he's actually going to have, like Emil Asphalt play calling duties. That is not confirmed. So we don't truly know.
He will at the beginning.
Yeah, but even then, is it like does he have executive control, or is it like how Les used to say, like, I think I'd run it here.
Well,
if it was me, like, which is like, what boss? Yeah. What person who has employment termination power over me? What do you just say what you want to say? Just tell me to run 46 power, okay?
I mean, I think Petrino, obviously, like, with the resume that he has, skins on the wall, like, he probably came in and they had that discussion before he signed anything. Now it can change. That first 3rd and 11 could be very interesting. But one of the things, catching up with all the coaches in Destin, like, even the guys that call plays for a long time, like, on the record, off the record, I'd ask them, like, hey, can you call plays anymore? To a man, no. Can't do it. And Mark Stoops had a great answer. He's like, I was a defensive coordinator my whole life. Like, he's like, I wanted to be the defensive coordinator. Yeah. Now he's like, and I'm getting a stud that everybody wants, and he's right, and Brad White. But he said, I can't, because if I'm in the film room and I'm going through the tape and I'm putting my game plan together, like, it never fails. Somebody comes in and somebody needs something from the head coach. He's like, it can be big, it can be small, it can be in between. He said, but you're on the go. He said, there's so many things that we didn't have before as far as obligations that I have to be at. He said, there's no way I could give that job the just due that it deserves. And I was like, man, that's
true.
To hear a coach say it, though, like, there's no way. And you'd ask other coaches that have called plays, and they kind of give you the same answer.
All right. Look, we got in a little bit of an A&M conversation. Let's talk LSU Kentucky just for about a minute or two here, and then we'll get into Wes Johnson to close out the hour. Remember, LSU went to Lexington earlier this year. Wait, what?
It was in Baton Rouge.
Oh, there's in Baton Rouge? Why did I think it was in Lexington?
You don't remember Bear Jones yelling at the pitcher after he had a home run off of him?
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. I forgot about that. That was probably one of the gifts of the year. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting my years confused. I was just thinking about their small ballpark over there. Anyway, so they win 16-6 in game number 1 with the run rule. Winning big in game 2 before Kentucky scores 6 runs over the final 3 innings. That game becomes 13-10. And then in the rubber match, remember, very close game. But bases loaded. Tommy White gets beamed in the 8th, gives you the 7-6 lead. You close it out, and you win the series. As we said, look, I'm not saying you're guaranteed going to win this Super, but you are the better team. That's just objective fact. You know this team. You know you've beaten them before. And you're playing as well as you have any time in the last couple of months, right? Like everything that you had questions about. All the potential weak points all performed very well over this weekend in regional. So in terms of form of the team entering this weekend, you got to feel great about it. So we'll see, man. First Super Regional in Baton Rouge since 2019.
And remember, that also was coming off a South Carolina series where you went on the road and you split, but a lot of people started to question you. Are you truly the best team in the country? Is South Carolina the best team in the country? That was that conversation. After that last game gets canceled, you come back and you beat Tulane in the midweek, but then you had that Kentucky series. So you were coming off a series that kind of created some pressure that you hadn't really had all season long. And they were able to handle it. And now can you use those advantages that you had in that series again here for the rematch? And so you'll start looking at maybe some of the pitching matchups, who did well in that series. Obviously, they're going to look at their arms, but you can go back and you can take a lot from a series like that. And so, again, that's why I really like that. And I like the fact that Jay Johnson's LSU's head coach, because that is one of his absolute strengths, is being able to go in, watch the film, the analytics of it, and we'll see how it ends up playing out. Ty Floyd went, I think, 4 2/3, gave up 5 runs, 3 earned in that second start. Griffin Herring kind of came in, and he got the loss. He gave up 7 runs, and Blake Money finished that game. He threw 2 2/3 innings. And so how do you format this one, right? Because knowing that your number 2, Ty Floyd, had some struggles. Now, only 3 of the runs were earned of the 5 runs, but now it's going to be, okay, do you go right back Skeens, Floyd, and do you save Thatcher Hurd? Like, what's going to be his role in the Super Regional as well?
We'll see. We'll continue to break it down all week long here on OTB. Coming up next, we close at hour 1, talk about Wes Johnson's departure.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. Chances are you've seen a billboard of a giant avocado with Gordon McKernan's head as the pit. L'avocat. It's a French word for both lawyer and avocado. But I want to talk about the man behind the avocado, right? Because they just had that incredible giveaway where if you entered the Kim Mulkey shopping spree, not only were you given a chance to win, but everybody who entered helped promote Turner syndrome awareness and the fight against it. Raised nearly $5,000 to fight Turner syndrome. And how about this, Jake? Breaking news back on June 1st. Harold Perkins re-signs with the G team, okay, as Gordon continues to get it done with your favorite athletes. You need somebody who's going to fight for you. Get Gordon and get it done.
Go to the website, getgordon.com. A live agent is waiting on you right now, so you can have a conversation on the website. You can always find the information like cases they can handle for you, past client results, all on the website. And again, have that conversation right now. Our area code in Louisiana, followed by the 8s.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I drove myself to the ER had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down to my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. The Tigers advance. We start taking a look at the Baton Rouge Super Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Closing on hour number one. So the news that broke immediately after the game yesterday is that it looks like in year 3 of Jay Johnson, he'll be looking for pitching coach number 3 as freaking Josh Brooks in Georgia, the Bulldogs, come calling after splitting with their coach of the last decade. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Strickland.
Yeah, Scott Strickland. Or not Scott Strickland. But Wes Johnson, the pitching coach for LSU, going to remain with the Tigers for the rest of the postseason. And I got to say, Jake, this is kind of a validation of Wes Johnson's career path choices, which have been odd. Remember, he became the first ever pitching coach to jump immediately from college to the big leagues. Never seen that before in MLB history. And then maybe just as weird, he left the Twins in the middle of the season when they were leading the division to come back and coach LSU. Why do you do that move? You probably like the college schedule better, obviously.
Yeah.
But why else do you do it? Because you want to be a head coach, right? Like that's why he goes. The path to being the head man, to being the manager, was way shorter for Johnson in college team MLB. He liked college game better. He knew all these things. He comes back to LSU, very calculated. And now look what happened.
Yep.
He is the head coach of an SEC baseball team, and one, Jake, that has a lot of potential. If you're talking about, I mean, massive, massive potential. So
great baseball in that area.
Yeah.
Just if you want to recruit right there in the Atlanta area, you could find, I mean, every team that I played growing up, like Cobb County something.
Yep.
And all these tournaments.
Jeff
we used to
Francoeur.
go to. Oh, my gosh. We played him in high school, T-Bob. He hit a ball.
He played Brookwood? Or like was it like some sort of travel? Did he go to Brookwood?
Whatever high school he played
pretty
for.
sure it's Brookwood,
we
yeah.
went to a tournament in Atlanta, and he hit a ball like it was as high as the lights when it left the ballpark. But that's another story. We could talk about him. Good gosh. You're right though. It is Scott Strickland. It's confusing because he was a former AD or something. It is.
What?
Scott Strickland, the Florida AD. Scott Strickland, the former UGA baseball
okay,
coach.
that's why I freaked myself out.
Yes, I could see it, and I knew it, but you were right. Look, Josh Brooks, obviously LSU grad, was an equipment manager here at LSU, knows LSU, could vet, obviously, a coach. You could ask around, knows what this baseball program is and probably the quality of a coach that you're going to get coming from LSU, so it makes a lot of sense.
Jay John says, quote, "We're going to get a great pitching coach. I'm not even worried about that. It is what it is, and I don't have reason to worry about that role moving forward." Hour 1 of the books. Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Buck.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, July 6th. Hour number 2 of the show. We're going to talk some LSU football, and at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, Nick Underhill will join us to talk some Saints. Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo. What up, though? Welcome back. Hour 2 of OTB. Okay, so weird situation in there. Hour 1, we talked about Wes Johnson. We were a little tight on time, and so I only read the second part of a quote from Jay Johnson, and I meant it to sound reassuring. I think it actually sounded quite aggressive, though, right? It's one of those classic, how it was going to sound in my head it's not how it came out sounding. And some were right in the chat to say that it was taken out of context. Just no, it was not my intention, because the more full quote, Jay Johnson was asked about Wes Johnson's quote. I think the preparation and execution of the pitching staff speaks for itself. It's just a new time in college athletics. So we were planning on having a meeting tomorrow morning to tell them already, but obviously we didn't get to that point. I love him like a brother. I cannot imagine only spending 11 months with somebody and connecting in the way that we have. He's made a big impact on our guy. So, make no mistake, Johnson and Johnson are tight, okay? They did a lot of good work together this year. I think he wanted to be reassuring with the end of this quote, right? It was not like when he goes on to say, we're going to get a great pitching coach. I'm not even worried about that. It is what it is, and I don't have reason to worry about that role moving forward. I think all he's trying to do there is project confidence and say, look, we've had 2 really good years in that department, and there were 2 hires that I made. And so once again, and think about it, like the same way, Jake, who was the pitch coach 2 years ago? Was it Kelly? He had like the high school line vibes, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. So in the first search, it was kind of Kelly and Johnson as your finalists. I think Johnson maybe said no initially.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is, in searching for the coaches, he already has other candidates that he likes. It's not to say he already has his mind made up, but it's not like he's going to be starting from ground zero in terms of who he maybe wants to potentially hire, because he's already done this dance here twice in the last 2 years, and he'll do it for a 3rd time this year. So it's a bummer, but ultimately, Jake, if your assistants are being hired away, that means you're good at hiring. You get into trouble when nobody wants your assistance. That's when maybe you gotta ask yourself, are they really maximizing what we can do?
And that you can go get almost anyone, because you just went to the Major League Baseball ranks and got an active pitching coach who was actually doing some good things with the Twins. Now, he had a college history, but you went and got someone from the big leagues to come be a college baseball coach. And so now you're going to look, okay, well, who can you go and get? I don't know what the situation is. Wake Forest, whoever the pitching coach is, might be Bill Salento. He might be it. But go get him.
Yeah. Go take Wake Forest. Hell yeah.
When you look at ERAs, Wake Forest is like 2.75. They led the country. And I think Tennessee's second at 3.43 team ERAs we're talking here. I mean, it's not even remotely close. They had the most dominating staff. I'm pretty sure, if that's still holding.
Playing in the SEC schedule, it's pretty crazy, dude.
Now I got to go look it up to confirm.
Sure doing good. I don't like that.
You don't like what?
I don't like Tennessee being second in the country in team ERA.
All right, so I'm looking at team ERA. You have Wake Forest number 1 in the country. Up 2.78. 2.78. Tennessee 3.60. So even actually bigger gap, almost
nearly
a
full
run.
Yeah, basically.
Northeastern, who made the postseason, Indiana State, Oral Roberts. Maybe that's the reason why they came as a
watch
4
out.
seed. Virginia, Alabama. So the top 7 teams made the postseason. Lamar, the only one on the outside there. Duke, Penn, Texas, all postseason baseball teams to kind of round out the top.
It gives you an idea of how good LSU's bats are because they took care of a lot of those. They took care of a couple of those teams that were on there.
LSU 44th.
Yeah.
4.60 team ERA.
Hey, 4.60 is actually a bit better than it's felt at times this year. I'll take it, dude. I mean, you come out of Hoover. I think the Penn's been somewhere around maybe right sub 4. The staff for the Penn lately, I'm not 100% sure. Either way, look, I feel good about this weekend. And here's to hoping that are they announcing 9 a.m. Eastern or Central where Tennessee Southern Miss is going to be? Because go Golden Eagles, like we said. Screw you, Tennessee. Always and forever. Let's talk real quick, a little LSU football blurb. Jake, as a familiar face, is back again, not for the first time, not twice, but thrice, as Trey Bradford is back at LSU. Yes. Now, you may be asking yourself, how is it possible to read that Trey Bradford is a redshirt sophomore and yet will be returning to LSU for the 3rd time? It's a hilarious headline that reads as being absolutely ridiculous. And to be fair, it is shrouded in a bit of mystery. But here's how the timeline went down. Remember, he signed with LSU out of high school. He ends up transferring to Oklahoma after 1 season. He spends 2 months in Norman before transferring back to LSU for 2021. He did spring ball with the team, was mysteriously absent from fall. And then here's a quote directly from the Advocate, quote, "It is unclear where Bradford spent the 2022 season. Don't know what he was doing for spring of 23, but apparently Trey Bradford is back in the LSU running back room for whatever that's worth." Does this do anything for you, Jake?
The running back room is come one, come all. They are trying to just get together every quality, able body that they can because it's going to be a running back by committee. But you're talking Josh Williams, who, look, I still trust. I think last year he proved it time and time again. You have Noah Cain. You have Diggs, who's transferring from Notre Dame. John Emery's still up in the air, but if he's able to come back, Armani Goodwin, don't know what his health is right now. Don't know if he's going to be ready for fall camp, but you're just adding bodies to this roster. Now, this team knows Trey Bradford, and they know what he can do, and so you welcome him back to the team, and you're trying to get as many quality running backs as you can because you're going to play 3, 4 running backs. It's going to be that old rotation that we've seen plenty of times in 03 and 07 and 11 of running backs by committee. You're not going to have a bell cow. You're going to have an RB1. We've talked about that. RB1 is a different situation than a bell cow. A bell cow is what Clyde Edwards-Helaire was in 2019. He never came out of the game. RB1, you're the starter, but you're going to have 3, maybe even 4 other guys come in depending on what their skill set is. And so you're trying to add because, again, like we've talked about, like Diggs and Cain are different. Josh Williams is going to be different than John Emery if he's back. And Emery's going to be different than Trey Bradford. So that is the good thing. And in 2007, that's kind of what we had as well. Like, you know, Keelan was different than Charles. I was different than Richard Murphy, certainly. And Trenton Holiday was kind of an X factor. So if you have a running back by committee, I would prefer it to be like this. Have a bunch of different guys with different skill sets that can help you. Now, you don't want to fall into tendencies. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to be, okay, if he's in the game, it's going to be this. That's on the coaching staff to put you in a place to succeed. But if I'm going to do it, I don't want 4 running backs that are, 230-pound bruisers. I don't want 4 guys that are slashers. I want 4 or 5 different running backs. And it seems like that's what LSU has. Now it's on the coaches to put them in the best situation.
Yeah. Now, you say you know what Trey Bradford can do. What would you say Trey Bradford can do?
He's a track guy. He can go. He is somebody, early in his career. Remember, he played in the fall game against Florida. That's how long ago
I feel
it
like
was.
I remember him.
Ole Miss game that year as well.
A receiver, I feel like.
Because if you get him on the edge, he has real track speed.
Yeah.
That is going to be his calling card. And again, like Josh Williams, he's going to be the guy in there in third downs. You can trust him. Tough yards. Noah Cain, tough yards. Inside runner. Remember the Arkansas game. like everybody knew because of the weather situation, he was getting the ball, had a lot of success. He can be that downhill running back. And John Emery's kind of the guy that's a new and ah guy. He's going like the Auburn game. John Emery takes that game over, so you hope he can come back in an LSU uniform.
Do we know anything about John Emery? I mean, given his academic history, missing spring for academics is about as discouraging of an outcome as you
it is,
could have possibly
but that's
hoped.
why you continue to stack running backs, because you don't know with this group. You don't know, is Goodwin going to be able to come back from injury? Is John Emery going to be eligible to play? Right? And so, like, those are the question marks that you're going to continue to ask yourself. And so what do? You go get talent back on this roster. And if you have an available spot and you feel like that person can help, like, they know Trey Bradford. They know Diggs coming from Notre Dame. He was a player for a lot of this staff, or some of this staff, but obviously the head coach. So you know these players. You're not just bringing them in and hoping. It's kind of like, hey, we know our situation with two of our running backs that we're counting on with Goodwin and Emery. We need you to be available. We know what you can do. And so I'm all for, if you have the spot, add a guy that you know at that position.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now it probably feels like Williams, Kane, and Diggs are your most reliable. Like, they're the ones that you know are probably going to be out there. They have experience. You feel good about them. I like the strategy, though. If you're unsure, and Brian Kelly said as much after spring. He said, look, on paper, it looks like we got a lot of guys, but there's a lot of context in that room that dictates that we're actually kind of thin. And so what do you do when you're thin at a position? Just throw a bunch of stuff against the wall, right? You can't always just go find some superstar that's going to magically come in and solve all your woes. So you throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see who ends up rising out of the muck, which I guess is what's going on with the LSU running back room. Remember Josh Williams, RB1. We'll see where it ends up going. All right, next here on OTB, I do want to remind you real quick about Patient Plus Urgent Care, man. If you're not feeling well, you're feeling a little sick, maybe you got a little sniffles, sinus, something or another, you want to go over there to Patient Plus Urgent Care. Shout out our guy, Ruben Patel, who, on top of being a massive masochistic Pelicans and LSU basketball fan, is also does a hell of a job running Patient Plus over there. And look, it's not just the excellent nurses and staff and doctors and everything, but really the facilities, which are just so unlike any other urgent care that you have ever been to. So for all your and your family's needs, you need to get in and get better. You want to go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will see the difference. All right, let's go. Coming up next, we got OTB Mailbag. Get your questions in the chat, and we'll log them next here on 104.5. Oh, hit the like button, by the way. 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Super regional or super sad? Plus Glenn West and Sharif Ishak. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Summertime is here, by the way. Okay, coming up on tomorrow's show, every single Wednesday, third hour of the show, we are picking a summer movie that we are going to watch in depth and review. Tomorrow's movie, starting with the classic, A Slice of Americana, The Sandlot, okay? So anybody who wants to follow along in tomorrow's hour number 3, go ahead, watch The Sandlot today, get in a good summer mood, and we will break it down tomorrow. Very excited about that. And our tier lists are back as well. It is tier list season, meaning this Friday we will be doing science as we objectively and correctly rank the best ever HBO shows.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, especially because, like a scrub, I've never seen Sopranos. Even though when I get done with Succession, I'm thinking that may be where I take my myself to next. Like I'm going to sign with The Sopranos. Feel like I'm going to be a free agent once again. Get out of my contract finally.
You've never seen The Sopranos.
No, I know.
So this show plays in the future in Shreveport. So this will be, when you're hearing this in the port city, it will be, I believe, 118. 118.
Yeah,
it'll be 118.
there.
So my older brother, Adam, who does radio in the same station that we play on, but he also coaches high school soccer. He's typically going back to the soccer field around this time, and he usually hears one segment of our show. I hope it's not this segment, because if it did, he just drove off the road.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Adam, I hope you're wearing a seatbelt. Okay, that's all. That's all I'm asking for.
That man has rewatched Sopranos like 6 times.
Well, I mean, I get it.
And you and him are very similar. That's why I bring it up.
Spoiler alert, it's probably going to be S tier. I don't have to have seen it to appreciate the
certainly
cultural impact of it, right? But then, I mean, look, you still got Rome. You still got The Wire. You still got True Detective Season 1. You still got
and 3.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering, though. Is True Detective all one show? Do you rank them separately? I think you I don't know. Well, you know what?
Entourage.
For the science,
That is for the Science on Friday, okay? It's going to be a great day. Right now, let's do a little OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. It's National Drive-In Movie Theater Day. Have you ever been to a drive-in theater? I have not.
It's too hot here for all that. They did have one about 20 minutes from our house in San Diego, and we were always like, we're going to go do that. And we never did that.
It seems like I wouldn't want to watch a movie through a window. You know? Does that make sense?
Let's be honest. People used to go to drive-in movies for other reasons.
Yeah. Handies.
Because the snacks were cheap.
Yeah. Exactly. I would like to do it once for the experience, but no, I never have. Jeff, hashtag goes to be Mailbag. T-Bob going to Hot Springs in a couple weeks. What's a can't-miss place to eat? I don't know, right? I spent a couple hours in Hot Springs that were not at the racetrack. What I will say is that a lot of places looked super cool. There was a pizza place with a Grateful Dead theme that was also a brewery that looked really good. Was it Grateful Bread or something along those lines? I can't remember the name of it, but whatever. Just, I'm like, the internet will be your friend. Just know that there seems to be very cool places over there.
I'm shocked that you enjoyed the pun.
Yeah, it looked cool. It looked really good. I will say this too, Oakland. I mean, the horse race is the most fun way to gamble ever. Bunny Money, hashtag OTB Mailbag. Would you rather live in space or at the bottom of the ocean? They asked an actual astronaut this that had been in both. I saw a clip from Joe Rogan where he was talking to somebody that had been in both.
I'm going space, I think.
I think so too.
I mean, the bottom of the ocean just doesn't seem great.
Both are terrifying, but I want to fly, you know? And so that's, I'd rather be in zero G and have impending death right outside the door seal than be in normal gravity. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Let's see here. T-Bob, did you patent Swamp King so the ESPN Florida documentary has to pay you tribute? Or does the S on the end, Swamp Kings, exempt them like the extra beat in Ice Ice Baby?
It's dun 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Dun, dun, dun. No, so I did not patent Swamp King. That said, Jake, I want to talk about the doc later because that's going to be awesome. Well, it has a potential to be awesome.
I'll hate watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the U was great. I wonder if they're going to be as we'll see. Mm-hmm. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Are you excited about Black Mirror coming back next Thursday?
I don't like Black Mirror.
It's weird to say.
I've tried it. That first episode, I'm like,
awesome.
God, not to you.
What? Bro,
no thanks.
That first episode's an all-time banger.
No.
Yes, dude. Have you seen it, Taylor?
I've seen like one or two episodes. I never got into it.
So it's an anthology show, which I like because there is no great buy-in, right? It's almost like watching a mini movie. The danger of that is there are some real hits and then there's like some real misses.
So
right?
Every episode is different, right?
Yes.
It's not like an American Horror Story where it's like one season and then to the next. Every episode's different.
Every episode's different.
Yeah, that would get on my nerves.
No, I mean I think it's awesome. It's just like some high concept short stories. Like the USS Callister episode, one of my favorite things I've ever watched in my entire life. But like the last 2 or 3 from last season, I didn't really care for. So
hey, can you do me a favor? Can you find maybe outside of episode 1? We're disagreeing there. Give me 5 episodes of it to watch.
I don't know if I remember 5 on the top of my head. Again, though, the USS Callister one blows my mind because it's one where this guy makes a video game, right? But he essentially codes it to be so real that he creates a bubble universe. And it kind of plays with the idea of like, at what point do you have to feel bad for these digital things because they feel just like we do? Like, it's like a way more advanced version of, okay, if you're playing like a GTA game, right? You're playing Grand Theft Auto and you walk and you just start like shooting bystanders.
Right.
They are coded to go from feeling normal to them panicking and freaking out and running around. At what point does the code become so real? Like, at what point do they gain sentience, consciousness, intelligence? And it's just, it really kind of, I think it's very interesting stuff to play with. But I love the first episode too.
I mean,
God, what?
It's so greasy.
So greasy.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would it be worse to walk up on a mad bunny?
Bacon greasy.
Yes. Would it be worse to walk up on a mad bunny rabbit or a happy rattlesnake? The mad rabbit.
Ooh. As a snake bite survivor myself, I'm going to go the snake.
What'd you get bit by?
I mean, wasn't
like a garden snake?
Yeah, but, whatever it was. But still, hey, survivor. I'm here to tell the story.
Factual.
Dude,
okay?
I had two, like whichever snake it was, I ran into the training room. I'm like, is this poisonous? I know. I had two little like fang holes in my foot for forever.
Okay, fang holes. That's an actual bite then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that'll play.
Yeah, so like it was the weirdest thing. Like I had just had like two like perfect circles on like the side of my foot.
Oh no.
Don't wear shower sandals by a dumpster if you're parking at LSU football house.
I almost walked straight over a rattlesnake what's the waterfalls? Cross Creek? Not Cross Creek.
Where are we talking here?
In Mississippi, you can go drive to. It's like an hour away.
I don't stop in Mississippi.
Man.
I mean, not any shade. I literally can't think of a time I stopped.
I go there like a few times every summer to go hiking with the family. It's so much fun. Clark's Creek? It might be dumb. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's the difference between OTB mailbag and Ask the Bench? Hey, David, you're asking too many questions. Okay. Hey, send them in, boys. David, you're about to get a knock on the door. Just go with them. Don't worry.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna hurt some people. We got to go. The whole situation. Yeah.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. David also asks us playing baseball on a turf field un-American.
It feels a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit like
Sucks.
it. I was watching. I forget which regional I was watching. I was like, the ball's not supposed to hop like that. It might have been Kentucky. I think Kentucky might have turf. But it was just taking some weird bounces.
How can you be in Kentucky, which I feel like is just
Kentucky
one
bluegrass?
lush, lush grass field, essentially rolling green hills. If they have turf, that's pathetic.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of turf.
Hashtag. I don't think the NFL is a big fan of turf. There's a movement in the Players Union right now, or Players Association, to make NFL teams have grass. Which, I mean, hey guys, if you're a multi-billion-dollar organization, I kind of agree with you got to invest and just figure it out.
Yeah. Turf fields serve a purpose in certain weather situations. I do get that, but you're right. Like NFL money, you can figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying college is not realistic.
It's
Okay,
not.
that's
High
fine.
school,
that is what it is.
not
High school,
realistic.
do your thing. But NFL, come on now. But then again, this is a league that had y'all playing in a baseball stadium forever. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I played in one of them.
I know. Does Derek Carr wear mascara?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Just highlighting your futures, you know?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would y'all agree that today's athletes are more athletic, but athletes in the past were tougher? I mean, there's some tough dudes
I
out there
would.
today, dude.
I think I mean, there's still tough players. So, don't mistake that, there's not tough players. There's still tough players. I do think they're more athletic. They have year-round training. They have access to the weights and the running programs and, just the way they can track everything now. Like, Saban laughed at me at SEC spring meetings when I was talking about 110s. He's like, Jake, we don't run 110s anymore.
That's so crazy.
It's we got the GPSs, and they follow everything that the players do, so we know if they're in shape or not. I'm like, oh, so, when we were, seeing three of you on the field across the Ponderosa, that was not the right way to do it? You would have thrived.
I would have thrived. I mean, that was the only thing that I was bad at, and I never got good at it in 5 years. I mean, you see me walk around all knock-kneed and pigeon-toed and short leg and weird torso, just not made for 110s. Let's see. We got to add Boardwalk Empire list. We got to Eastbound Down list. I don't think those are in there. Leftovers, Veep. Forgot Veep. Oh, Emil saying leftovers Veep or S tier? I don't know, bro. Seems like bad science to me.
I know a lot of people love Veep. I know Leftovers is kind of 50-50.
I tried to watch Leftovers for multiple seasons, and it just never, ever did it for me. Okay, Empty Cajun. T-Bob, you're looking for an EPL team. Why not Newcastle United? Big club. We'll be playing in Champions League. Are they good right now? I've always liked Newcastle's uniform.
Yeah, they got a new owner, and they spent some money, and they're going to be playing European football.
Okay, dude, I can maybe get into that. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I don't hate it.
Why don't you just back me and just become an Everton fan?
I mean, I guess it could be all right. I do love the unis as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the blue looks good, but y'all kind of suck.
Like Roger Bennett said, we're crap, but we're our crap.
Yeah. But, like, I'm not.
So you're a front runner now?
I'm just saying, like, y'all are kind of like the Browns, right? Like, historic
whoa.
franchise. I'm just saying, historic franchise. I don't know if you hired a serial sexual assaulter as your midfielder and captain, but kind of like the Browns. Historic franchise, maybe not the most winning. Loyal fan base.
Very loyal, yeah.
Go Blues! Who am I kidding? I'm not going to watch it.
God, it's so weird. Like, I figured you would be into that.
I am into Newcastle. Did Paul Scholes used to play for Newcastle? Who used to play for Newcastle?
He played for Man
Did
U.
Zidane play for? I knew that. Later he did. I thought, did young Zidane play for Newcastle?
Not that I remember.
There was somebody, when I used to watch soccer highlight videos online all the time on soccervids.net back in the day.
Wait. You soccervids.net?
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, you kidding me? I used to watch freestyle dribbling and just like soccer highlights all the time when I get into FIFA 04. And when I started discovering my love of the beautiful game.
Even though you won't pick a team.
Marty Moonbeam. Hashtag go to Mailbag. Is True Detective Season 1 the best Season 1 of any show? Yeah, full stop. I think so. The ending isn't maybe like the strongest, but it's good enough, and the rest is fantastic. Also, it was kind of my first, I think probably for a lot of people, it was our first foray into what kind of philosophy is Russ Cole espousing? Is it nihilistic? I don't know. But it's kind of like time is a flat circle. You're like, whoa, dude, what? It's so crazy.
We're probably biased here, but I think anything set in South Louisiana, like South Louisiana, not like Baton Rouge, not even really like New Orleans. Certainly, something set in New Orleans, I can get behind that. But something set in South Louisiana always intrigues me. It intrigues a lot of people, just because it's like nowhere else.
Handled the Cajun accents well too.
Yeah,
I think they hired actual Cajun people.
They did.
Which there you go.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Will you be spending $3,500 on the new Apple Vision Pro goggles? Yeah, in case you missed it, Apple dropped their own VR helmet, Jake, and in classic Apple fashion, they have priced it at $3,500. For reference, I got my Oculus Quest 2 for I think $250 a couple of years ago. Now, Oculus did raise that price back up to $400 because they some hoes, but I mean $3,500. I think it maybe be marketed less towards gaming and more towards like professional. And I'm sure it's awesome. Like, make no mistake, I'm sure it is top quality, but sheesh, that is a pretty penny. And no, I will not, because it's really hard to do VR stuff with like families and young kids. I don't know. You can.
Wait, what?
Like, it's hard to like put on a VR headset and just be like, "Hey, real life, don't bother me."
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna surprise you. That doesn't intrigue me whatsoever.
No, VR is cool though. I do really enjoy it.
This you're gonna roll your eyes at this. Like, anytime I try to do stuff like that, my brain, I don't know if it's from the
Makes
ISO
sense.
blocks.
Yeah, makes
it
sense.
does not handle that well.
Does it give you like bad motion sickness?
Oh,
stuff?
bad.
Yeah, movement's in weird. There's a very odd thing with your brain where, for instance, they have games where maybe you're like floating through space, and so you're moving by like pushing against walls.
Yeah.
If your brain can make sense of why your vision is moving in that way, you tend to not get motion sick. But if you just have a joystick and you're just pressing forward, and so you're like moving, but you're not ambulating, it's the weird. Your brain just can't handle it. It's like a huge disconnect.
So like I'm obviously like right now I'm on baby call.
Yeah.
Like, because Katie is 36 weeks pregnant. We've had a child at 36 weeks, and so like anytime I see her name pop up on my phone, I'm like, okay, let me see. And she texted me, and I'm like, oh, what is it? She rolled her eyes and said, "Snake bite survivor, chill out."
It's true though. I mean, it is factual.
Look, it is factual. I got bit by a snake, and I'm here to tell the story.
By the way, it's Tunica Hills, and it is Clark's Creek that I was looking for, Clark Creek. So if anybody's looking for good hiking, look that up. It's very fun. You can drop a little dono in the box when you enter the park, but it's just a beautiful trail. It's got waterfalls, bro. It's got elevation changes. Okay? Imagine that. And it's only an hour away. Very fun place to take the kids. They can go swimming and whatnot.
Okay.
Oh, it's augmented reality. It's not VR. Never mind.
Okay.
Interesting. A $3,500 AR headset? What does that do? It's probably pretty badass. Probably like be doing probably, you know what? You probably feel like Tony Stark in like Iron Man or something when he's just like grabbing things out of thin air and like rotating.
It better
them
do
around.
something for $3,500.
Yeah, true. The dog better run.
Gosh, I'm thinking of some Newcastle players that like Andy Carroll seems like somebody you would enjoy watching. Was it Andy Carroll? Had a nice little ponytail, little man bun.
It was the only reason it was the highlight tape of somebody who had become way bigger than Newcastle. Maybe it was
Michael Owen?
Carlos Bocanegra. I think it was Michael Owen. That's exactly
Okay.
who it was. It was Michael Owen. Thank you. That's who I was looking for. I mean, how do you like that Bocanegra poll then? How about that?
Carlos Bocanegra, great guy. He is the GM now of the Atlanta franchise.
That's not even who I was thinking about. I thought I was thinking about a Brazilian defender.
No, Carlos Bocanegra was the captain for the United States men's national team for a long time.
Well, getting my names confused. All right, that's going to be it for us. Let me see if we got one more. OTB mailbag. Oops, Freudian slip there.
I'll ask. let me ask one. Most like random HBO show that you're going to try to fight for on this tier list. Maybe a deep cut. I'm gonna go Tales from the Crypt.
Is that I had no idea that was an HBO show. I was always too scared to watch it when I was a little kid. The Crypt Keeper used to scare the crap. It was one of those things where you'd put it on and I'd see how long I could last before I fear changed the channel. Dude, these kids don't know about. No. I barely know about it. These kids don't know about Tales from the Crypt. There's no chance. Taylor, have you ever heard of Tales from the Crypt?
Heard of it, never seen it.
Have you seen the Crypt Keeper?
Crypt Keeper was.
Do you know what he looks like? Oh, okay.
I'm looking at him right now. Ooh,
creepy boy.
That was a great show, though. I mean, it had kind of that Black Mirror feel to it a little bit. Like every episode was going to be different. There was, a, Twilight Zone-y kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a horror anthology. Yeah, like same deal. I think I really like Righteous Gemstones quite a bit, which I believe is about to come.
Oh, you did like that. Yeah, I hadn't given it an opportunity yet.
It is just Danny McBride's essence distilled into film.
Vice Principals.
But a little sacrilegious. I never saw Vice Principals.
Minus a little. Vice Principals is fantastic.
It's not really as much sacrilegious, though, as it is. It's making fun
of mega churches.
Yes, like
right?
the people who are already bad people because they are being sacrilegious, getting money and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so we will good call on the Michael Owens boys. Michael Owens. Michael Owens. Michael Owens.
Wait, what? Oh, you're wondering if it's plural or not?
Yes. Watchmen.
No, it's not. Michael Owen. It's not
Watchmen.
Owens. It's Owen. Michael Owen.
Okay, Michael Owen. Watchmen is actually going to be the show that I fight for. That is that show was top notch.
HBO or Max?
Well, the same thing now. It wasn't cinema. That was HBO.
Okay.
It was. I'm 90% positive, not 100%. All right. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Never saw Oz. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go to All-Star Toyota today. Look, if you love OTB, guys, well, thank you, first off. It's very sweet of you. But the only way that we're able to do this show is because of the people who support us. And nobody supports us more than All-Star. That's why you see the signage behind us. That's why we talk about them twice a day. And it's why, even though, look, I don't get any like special deals or anything, it's why I chose to buy the Murdered Out Mini there. It's why I leased the Camry. And it's why I'm not looking at a Sequoia now that the lease is about to be up. So get your answers at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
You're going to go over there and test drive?
I kind of dropped the ball. I got the text that woman's on the lot to go check it out, and I forgot.
It's okay. It's okay because they're going to be there for you when you forget.
That's customer service. How about that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And go check out the per-day rental prices on the website. You'll find that it's going to be hard to beat. And everything is available as well. You're not going to get that anywhere else. So no matter if you need something bigger, smaller, whatever, they've got you covered in the rentals. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. The Tigers advance. We start taking a look at the Baton Rouge Super Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yahoo! What's happening? Yeah. Welcome back, OTB. So Russell Okung, if you want to go ahead in the group chat, maybe you can bring this up, Taylor. Russell Okung was an excellent NFL tackle. How long did he end up playing for?
A long time.
Yeah. Right? Forever.
But I think he might have finished with the Chargers.
A guy who was, I'm pretty sure, All-Pro at times, Pro Bowler, captain. Somebody who played tackle at over 300 pounds. Well, he is now 100 pounds lighter. He looks incredible. And he says he went on a Twitter thread yesterday where he said the number one question I keep hearing is, how did you do it? And here's what he says, okay? And I don't know that I knew that this was medically possible. He says, how did you do it? Answer, I fasted for 40 days with nothing but water. Yes, you read right. The experience was so rich and rewarding, I'm going to do it again. Fasting isn't just about weight loss. It's about regeneration, healing, and self-discovery. And quieting my physical hunger, I unlocked mental clarity and spiritual revelation, a total reset. As an elite athlete, I was always told to eat big, stay strong, and I never questioned it. But breaking away, embracing fasting, it changed everything. I'm not just lighter in weight, but I'm lighter in spirit. Fasting isn't for everyone, I get that, but for me, it was a life changer. The benefits are profound: clearer skin, better digestion, improved mental focus. Even my joint pain has decreased. My journey hasn't been just about shedding pounds. It's been about shedding old habits and old ways of thinking. Fasting opened a door to a healthier, happier me. It gave me control back. So today I stand before you changed, empowered, and inspired. Whether you're considering fasting or just looking to change your life, remember the first day is always the hardest. Bro, 40 days of just water? I didn't know. Do we have doctors listening? Is that physically possible? I mean, I guess so. Is it only possible because of how big he was? And if he does it now when he's this size, what happens to him?
I mean,
does he just disappear?
40?
40. Jesus style. Straight Jesus style.
I mean, just the mental makeup to be able to do that. Because that's a man who has had to, like he said, eat and protein and carb load. Oof. Good for him. Good for I'm not in that number. I can do a lot of things with my diet. That ain't one of them.
40 days. And I'm sure that he achieved all these things that he's talking about because, of course, he did. The mental fortitude that it takes to make it through 40 days means that your clarity would be extreme because you have nothing but your thoughts. Ross Tucker says 40 days. I couldn't fast 40 hours. It's insane, man. Way to go.
I could do 40 hours, but 40 days?
Yeah, bro. Like I could do a juice cleanse, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I'd probably feel great afterwards. In fact, maybe I'll do one for a head to the beach this summer. Just kind of tighten everything up. But
I like that.
But my God, 40 days. Congratulations, Russell. You're a madman. He's gonna come out looking like Gandhi on the other side of the second one, though. He's not careful. We'll see. It looks great, though. I mean, he does. It's. Oof, I don't know. That's wild. I mean, what are you eating after 40 days? Because you can't go big.
No. You can't go Mario.
Hard? Yeah, you got to chill, right? You got to
you gotta eat like a rabbit
yourself back in. Yeah,
for a little
maybe
bit.
like a carrot.
Yeah.
Some
Carrot.
broccoli.
Bean. Maybe.
Oh, dude, I figured out how to make some fire green beans in that Red State cooking course the other day. I got.
Does it take all the nutritional value out of the green bean?
No, it's just a blanch. It's just a simple blanch, and then just in heavily salted water. Talking a cup and a half of salt per gallon, because only a little bit of the salt ends up on there.
Right.
But a cup and a half. So, like, quick boil, and then I can't remember how long, just a few minutes, and then immediately dropping it into an ice bath, and it caused me to retract, really get that great texture. And then we had some custom-made vinaigrette on there with some shredded fresh parm and pistachios to give it a little texture crunch. Oof, it was fire, dude. It was so good.
Will you do that at home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we did that cook class, there's like 12 people doing it. So you make these giant meals with like a bunch of different courses. I find that when you take them home, you make like one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I make, this one thing for dinner night. Maybe it's something that's like easy to throw on. So good.
We've got Hayden Travinsky coming up in 13 minutes.
Nice. Yes. Okay, so we're moving around a little bit. We got Hayden Travinsky at 9 a.m. Daddy himself showing up here on OTB, and then we got Nick Underhill at 9:15. Keep it locked. More coming up to close out hour 2 on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Super regional or super sad? Plus Glenn West and Sharif Ishak. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You wanna be the one with a new relationship with you. This is what we do. Think about it when you know the things that come along with you. Make me.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
And then, y'all, look back at OTB, closing hour number 2. And then we got Hayden Travinsky, as Jake is patented, kicking off kicking off next hour. And then we got a little Nick Underhill after that. The Raheed Shaheed hype continues to gain steam. Jake, do you care at all about this new fair catch rule? In case you missed it,
Yeah.
in the NFL, like college football now, you can fair catch it and have the ball put on the 25-yard line.
And that's anywhere. So, like,
Anywhere.
if you fair catch it on the 3,
Yeah.
you get on the 25-yard line.
So there's no point kind of aiming necessarily
No.
for the no man's land
Right.
that people are trying to aim for previously. You know, it's weird. Read in the article this morning that I read on NOLA.com that when the Saints chose to return it out of the end zone or from like 3 to the 7, they still basically always got to the 25. So it's an odd thing. But I guess, I mean, I don't know. The special teamers are the ones, it's funny because those are the ones you're trying to protect, but they're also the ones you seem most upset about it because
you're getting rid of us.
Yeah, you're taking away opportunity for the War Daddies.
Yes. I mean, the War Daddy opportunities now are few and far between.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking kickoff return. What's the point of being back there?
Yeah.
Kickoff. What's the point of being a War Daddy and running down the field? So,
True.
yeah, I mean, it's upsetting because there's guys that have made a living, guys that have set up their life. I mean, Will Compton is a great example. And I heard Will talking about this. Like, Will played some linebacker, but he was a special teams war daddy trying to get to season 10, still on 9.
Yeah.
But that was his career. And you get 9 years in the NFL, right? That's great money. That's a great pension. And if you start taking that away, what's the incentive to keep a core special teams, core being you play all 4 type of guy on your roster? You're probably going to keep a backup linebacker that's not as good on special teams, but maybe he can help you more on defense. And so it gets rid of a whole wave of players that have played in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah, it's weird. I'll be shocked if this is true, Jake. So the NFL says, their algorithms, their math equations say they expect the return rate to drop from 38 to 31%. That's not the shocking part. But in that 7% decline, they're thinking that overall concussions will be down 15%. That seems heavy.
Yeah, that number's too high. That number's inflated.
Right.
Not even like the guys covering the kicks. What about Devin Hester and Darren Sproles and Dante Hall?
True. It's a lost art.
Devin Hester,
hey, how about Cordell Patterson?
Yeah,
Show some respect.
Devin Hester might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Darren Sproles might be a Hall of Famer. Now he did things on offense, but you take them out of the game.
Yeah.
To some extent.
It's times are changing. Hayden Travinsky kicking off hour 3.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's T-Bob back here on behalf of the DraftKings Sportsbook as the NBA Finals are here, and it's Denver versus Miami. The fight for the title is on. Jake, are you going to play any games tonight?
Absolutely. I'm thinking about doing actually like a little same game parlay. Points, rebounds, assists, the whole deal.
Well, guess what? Every additional leg that you throw on there, once you opt into the stepped-up same-game parlays, because you're already an existing customer, every additional leg gets you a 10% boost if you win. So you do 10 additional legs, you get a 100% boost. That'd be a big win, even for you. If you're a new customer to DraftKings Sportsbook app, download today. Promo code Baton Rouge. May place a $5 bet, and you get $200 in bonus bets immediately with which to play. So download the app today. Promo code Baton Rouge. 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select pairs. Only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt in and 10+ leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 6th. Expect cloudy skies with a high of about 88 today. In hour 3 of the show, we'll be joined by Hayden Travinsky in just a few minutes and Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football joining us at 9:15 to talk some New Orleans Saints. Hour 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hour 3 of OTB, and it is our pleasure to be joined by Hayden Travinsky. That's right, a.k.a. Trahemsky, a.k.a. Daddy, a.k.a. Dr. Disrespect himself. The man who's been giving mustache rides to balls throughout this entire postseason. Nobody's as hot, literally and figuratively, as Hayden Travinsky. Hayden, what's up, dude? How we feeling this morning?
T-Bob, you want to walk around with me everywhere and just do that?
Like pump you up a little bit, dude? It's like juicy up.
He's a hype man.
Every time I enter a room, I want that.
Hey, how about this? I want you to take me back to yesterday. What is going through your head? I know you're already excited, right? You hit yet another home run. But what is going through your head when Cade comes up and y'all pull off the ultra-rare back-to-back jacks?
Well, it's the third time it's happened. And all 3 times I'm not really paying attention because I'm focused on myself, obviously. Yep. And it just happened, and I see the ball go up, and it clears the fence. But I don't know. I think Cade gets so hyped after I hit it that he just convinced himself that he has to do it.
Yeah. You can't have all the shine, Hayden. What are we doing here?
I know.
You do have like a little bit of like a twins thing going on too, like a little Schwarzenegger and DeVito. If somebody wants to maybe mock up that Photoshop, right? Belosso's got the belly bombs going out. You got a bit more of like the big intimidator, like I said, kind of the Dr. Disrespect style, a little bit there. Hayden, how are the boys feeling, dude? Here on the other side of regional, huh? First Supers coming to town since 2019.
Yeah, we're super excited. The atmosphere this weekend was something that I don't think I've felt since I've been here, and it wasn't even full capacity. Yeah. So I think it was special. I mean, I could feel it behind the dish at the plate. It was really cool.
Hey, I want to know about the inspiration behind. I mean, T-Bob keeps talking about the mustache. He's forgetting the soul patch.
Yeah, true.
That's the addition to the mustache. Is this Doc Holliday in Tombstone? I don't even know if you're old enough to I'm sure you've seen it, but I don't know if you're old enough to, appreciate that maybe. Where's the facial hair inspiration?
It was just random. I did it as a joke. And then Jared Jones was like, you know what, you should keep it. And I said, fine. And then Belly actually joined me with it. And this was, I don't know, this had to have been March. And then ever since then, we've been rocking the stash soul patch combo. And then, obviously, we got the bandwagon members such as Paul Skeens.
True.
And then, yeah.
I think we said on the show, because you came on a couple of weeks ago, and the game after, I was like, if Travinsky hits another 3-run homer, like I'm going straight.
I had a solo.
I know, and you only had a solo in the next game. But I was kind of thankful because I told T-Bob if you did it, I was going to do the mustache because unlike T-Bob, mine actually touches my beard.
Okay, relax.
And so I thought I was going to do it. I was going to do it as well. But thank you for only hitting a solo.
Relax.
God, sorry to that hurt.
It's all good, dude. I mean, you see what I have to deal with saying this crap?
God, that hurt.
I know. I mean, how am I supposed to? Yeah, see, you know what? That's not a very foxhole move there, Jake.
I threw you off.
You know what? Hayden's not messing with Kate about his lack of mustache connection. Hey, how about this? Last time we talked to you, I believe you said you were most excited about playing Pokemon Pearl. Was it Pearl on the bus? Am I wrong? What Pokemon were you playing last time we talked?
It was Omega Ruby, and I finished it, I think, that day.
Nice, dude. Wow. Hell yes, man. So what are you playing now to kind of keep your mind off?
Yeah, I know during the rain delay, right?
Chilling.
Rain delay, you had to play something.
Oh, yeah. Were you?
No, I wish. We were just kind of watching the games across the country, seeing what was going on. But
wait, hold on there. I want to stay there for a second in the rain delay. It's a really good question because that's something I've never really experienced. I think like playing football, I had like one weather delay, maybe it was like 30 minutes or something. Like, what do you do when it's such a high tension moment? Everything's on the line. Like, take us into that dugout when you have to go basically chill for 3 hours and try to like avoid getting too high, but to try to avoid like getting checked out. Like, what does that feel and look like?
I mean, some people were taking naps. I just took all my like jersey and stuff, let it dry off, and then we played some Uno.
Okay.
We played Uno, watched the other games, and just kind of waited because no one knew what time we were going to kind of kick things back up. But in that case, you just got to stay ready no matter what.
Who won Uno?
Well, there's a lot of cheating that goes on at our Uno tables. Cards will get slid under the table.
Yeah.
Somebody will get a +4 that didn't have a +4 beforehand. Yeah, things get dicey.
Hey, I want to ask you about being behind the dish now every game. And, you know, through this run that you've had, we've seen you DH. We've seen you even at first base one game. But now you're behind the dish every single game, catching all these games. Like, is that something that – has it been difficult for you considering, like, you didn't really have a ramp up to that? It's like, hey, you're inserted in the lineup, you're hitting bombs, you're, you know, batting cleanup now. But how's your body been, you know, being behind the plate that many games in a row now?
Luckily, it's not like I was doing a whole lot throughout the first half of the season. So I feel pretty fresh. And we have a lot of good arms, so it's fun to be back there and help them get to work. We had a lot of good outings, especially from Skiing, Thatcher, Ty this weekend. So it was a fun weekend. I'm really excited for this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, bro. How did them Thatcher
that's
breaking balls
exactly
feel
where I was going.
coming in there? Because those things were dropping.
From hell.
Oh, dude. I know, right? I guess it is
We
hell to
loved them,
catch.
hated
I'm
them.
about to say, I dreamed about two things the other night, and it was Thatcher Hurd's breaking balls in succession. But, I mean, he was just dropping him in the pocket, man.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of him. He's come a long way. And that's why I kept telling him after he got pulled, I was just like, dude, I'm so proud of where you're at, and I can't wait to see you keep going.
What about this? Do you think is it okay to call, like, when Coleman and Ackenhausen line up like that, are they the hefty lefties? Would that be their tag team name? Would you think they'd be cool with that?
You'd have to run it by him.
Okay, at a certain point, you got to tell the fellas, you just got to embrace the bond, man. Embrace the bond.
I think Riley has.
Yeah, I said Coleman. Excuse me, Cooper and Ackenhausen.
Yeah.
We used to say
you run it by him.
Yeah, we used to call Coop the bad body god, but now Ackenhausen's joined the squad as well.
Hey, but what a day, though. What a day for them. I mean, yesterday, look, the last inning, you're just trying to get out of there. It's a little bit different situation, but to hold it down, you go bullpen arms, you go 4 deep there in a game against a very good offense in Oregon State. I mean, you got to be proud of those guys.
100%. Coop did a really good job. We had a lot of tough innings early on, 2 runners on, bases loaded. And I think it was the second inning, Jordan made that really good play, ground ball to him, play at the plate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of key things that happened, especially defensively, that kept us in line. And then the bats were good all weekend. Tulane, we went a game without even hitting a homer.
Yeah.
4-7.
How about that?
And then the bats started picking up. So it's gonna be a really exciting weekend.
Yeah, I mean and look, the bats have been the strength all year long, right? This lineup, I mean, y'all's offense is unstoppable, and you gotta love an offense that kind of can adapt to the situation at hand. As you said, kind of small balled it against Tulane, and then hit 9 home runs the next 2 games against Oregon State. In the Tulane game, was that the plan going in? Is it just kind of how things worked out? Like, did Coach Johnson let y'all know ahead of time that you may engage in some of those tactics that you haven't done much this season?
It was an emphasis for us throughout the week.
Okay.
If you look at our lineup last year, we really executed with runners on base. And we had to. We didn't have a good enough bullpen, and we gave up runs due to errors. So we knew we had to score, especially when runners got the second, third. This year we haven't been as successful, but that was our big emphasis this week, leading up to this weekend. And it definitely played instant dividends Friday. And then when we're doing that, and then we're hitting doubles, homers, I think we're tough to deal with.
Hey, kind of speaking of, Hayden, kind of different styles, the team you're about to face in Super Regionals, you've already faced them, but you know it is a different style. It's a West Coast baseball type style. It's small ball. It's bunting. It's obviously very aggressive on the base pass, and you know this. I mean, you've probably already done your scouting report. But, like, as a catcher, knowing that, does it change maybe the way that you're trying to go about preparing for this week?
No, nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Just got to get the arm loose, though. That's it. I mean, just make sure.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, the strike him out, throw him out. Have we buried the lead here?
Yes, good call.
I mean, that's a play that does not get lost here on OTB. I mean, I know that had to feel because that was a big moment. I mean, I think it was first and third, nobody out, and obviously, like, you're trying to get Thatcher set up in the game there. I mean, kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, well, they're kind of they're in the same situation, I think, as Kentucky. Like they had a few guys that can really run. I think it was a leadoff at 3-hole and another guy that could really scoot. And as soon as he got on, I knew he was going to go at some point. And then we just got to a 3-2 count, so I kind of really anticipated that and got a good pitch to throw him.
Do you ever? I'm wondering. I've never caught elite pitching. Right. I think the last time I caught was 9 years old. Yeah, I know. I was a lefty, dude. I was cursed from the beginning. What's it like in the ninth inning when it's still at 101 from Paul Skeens? Like, do you wake up? Is your hand hurting the next day? Like, what does that feel like?
No, luckily my hand didn't hurt, but that was the first time I've caught him in game ever. I catch him every week in pens, but that was the first time in game. So I was nervous going into it, to be fair.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it, Hayden. I mean, that
kind of
that's
take
something,
it for granted a lot of times. Just like catcher, do your job. Just do your job.
And then it's special, and I can see what all the hubbub's about. You know what I mean? That shit's elite.
It's crazy, man. I talked about it the other day. The weirdest part to me, Hayden, is it just looks effortless. Like, does it look like that to you?
That's why I think he's going.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think that's why he's going to do this for a very long time. Mechanically, I think he's in a good spot to where it's going to keep him healthy, and mentally he's just locked all the time. But it's such an effortless delivery that he'll be able to do this for as long as he wants.
That is something, I mean, that's been remarkable. We talked about, I mean, you have so many pitchers that it feels like when they want to get gassed up, and that's okay. Like, guys like Zach Hess, like, he gets gassed up and he throws, upper 90s, but, like, he just, like, flicks his wrist. And so it's been a lot of fun to kind of watch. All right, hey, kind of walk us through the schedule, Hayden, before we let you go. Now that you know who you're playing, obviously going to be in Baton Rouge, is it going to be a normal week for y'all? Is Jay kind of giving you a lay of the land yet?
Yeah, it'll be the same schedule as we usually have, just prepping, getting better on things we need to improve on, and just excited for another good weekend.
T-Bob, before he goes, can you say if he hits a 3-run homer that you'll go the mustache soul patch combination?
Wow, this is such a interesting technique by you here, because I haven't put my beard on the line in years. I haven't put my beard on the line.
That's big for you, huh?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I haven't put my beard on the line since an old Pelicans bet back in 2014. I'll do it for the boys. I'll do it for the boys. I'll do it for the boys. If you hit a 3-run bomb this weekend, Hayden, I will go. And I actually don't hate where my stash is at right now. So I'll go mustache and soul patch, and my wife will probably kill me. The one nightmare my wife had before he got married, Hayden, was that I had shaved my beard before the wedding. It's probably best not to ponder on what exactly that means, but we'll see.
Yeah,
don't think about it. Yeah, I'll take it. You hit a 3-run bomb, I'll take it. I'll be happy this weekend. Hey, what are we going to be playing this week to try to relax now that Ruby's done?
Probably a little FIFA.
Okay. Now you're talking my language.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
In that range.
Yeah. Do we have a squad? Are we going ultimate team? Like, what are we doing here?
I play against a lot of my buddies usually.
Okay.
I would still smoke anybody on the sticks. Y'all don't want to see me on FIFA soon. I'll smash. I mean, line him up and knock him down, boys. I've been solving FIFA arguments since 2004, okay, Hayden? I've been playing FIFA nearly as long as you were alive, brother. Okay, you ain't ready for this.
That might be true. But as Jacob reiterated, my stash connects. Keep up.
Okay. Relax. We're all getting a little too comfortable here, okay?
Yes.
Hayden Travinsky. Get ready for this weekend. Dude, thanks so much, man. This is a lot of fun.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, take it easy. The man, daddy time. Okay, coming up next, Nick Underhill. Keep it locked.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Hayden Travinsky definitely playing like an all-star right now. And if you want to feel like an all-star, you go to All-Star Toyota where you're going to get, all-star service, all-star selection, all-star prices. Whether you're buying new Toyota certified used vehicles, maybe you just want to rent, right? Cheaper per day rental price. You're going on that road trip to Disney to wherever. Well, don't put miles on your car. Rent a Toyota. Save money. Maybe experience a car that you're potentially thinking about getting, being like a minivan, Sequoia, whatever. It's all there for you at All-Star, and the service is second to none. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Look at some of the selection they got on site. Look at the deals that they can offer you as well.
Look, we encourage you, if you're buying new, if you're leasing, or if you're renting, they are the one-stop shop. T-Bob's bought new. We both have leased. We both have taken full advantage of the rental process, and you can as well. Vacations coming up all throughout the month of June, July. Go ahead and rent that Sequoia, the Sienna, if you need something a little bit bigger for your vacation. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. The Tigers advance. We start taking a look at the Baton Rouge Super Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Mark Cummings says, T-Bob, go Fu Manchu. Braden, I wish I could go Fu Manchu. That's kind of the entire problem. I can't. Wait, yeah, okay, by the way, breaking news, PGA is merging with LIV. I know this isn't the show to really get into it, but that's insane.
What?
Yeah, I know. But right now, let's go to the videos. We have our guy, Nick Underhill. Nick, what's up, man? How you doing today? Are y'all out of practice today? What's the schedule like? Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, practice at.
There you go.
Go ahead. Now talk.
All right, we got practice today at 10:30. So yeah, we'll get out there, get a look. It's the last OTA, and then in a few weeks or next week we got mini camp 3 days in a row. So almost done with the summer evaluation.
Okay, so what are you most looking forward to getting eyeballs on today?
It's just kind of trying to piece everything together. I mean, these aren't like big viewing windows, so it's kind of the same things every week. So it's just trying to see more and more. Like, I feel like I haven't even seen Isaiah Foskey yet, just looking at him. And you're not going to see much this time of year, but like a guy like that, I want to get a look at. Like, I really kind of believe in Jordan Howden at this point. I think he's someone that's going to compete. DeMarco Jackson has been really impressive in the 2 days that we've seen him. It's 2 days, but I think he's starting to answer some questions. So I want to see more of that. Maybe just a better look at him in coverage. And there's a handful of other guys. Adrian Fry, like, is a UDFA cornerback, someone that's kind of stood out to me a little bit over the first 3 times that we've seen him. So it's just kind of trying to figure out, like, maybe who some of the long shot guys are that could have a chance to make the team, and then just getting a better look at some of the newcomers.
I know Tripp wrote about the other day maybe some potential specialness. That's why I'm not a writer. Growing in that Saints defensive backfield, but I would ask you about Raheed Shaheed. It seems like everybody that we talk to that's had eyes on practice continues to sing Raheed Shaheed's praises. Is like, I guess, how do I want to ask this? Where should expectations be for Shaheed here in year number 2?
Yeah, look, I'll say this. Like, this is the time of year, I think, where second-year receivers like always really stand out ahead of everybody else. And then in the last practice, you go and look at who wasn't there, and the starting quarterbacks weren't there. So going against guys that are new to the system, trying to figure out how to fit in the defense and everything. And a lot of times in those mismatches, it does favor the second year guy. And that's usually when we go back, like, if you went and looked at like all the hype beasts from this time of year, they're all second year wide receivers going against guys that are new to the secondary this time of year. But I do think that he looks better, and they're moving him around. I talked to him. He said that his role this year is going to be primarily in the slot. So I think that's kind of interesting too. There's some mismatch potential there. Get him on some safeties and linebackers every now and then if you can. And I think he's going to eat those guys up. And I think he's just going to get more polished and better at what he's doing. He talked openly last year about just not knowing what his role was really supposed to be on offense and like trying to get up to speed every single week. Like, actually maybe knowing what you're doing now paired with his talent, and then, you know, a better vision for how to use him, because he was coming back from that ACL last year too. So it was kind of just slow going the whole entire summer and then thrown to the fire. So I just think the comfort and everything is going to help him look good. Reasonable expectations. I think 700 yards is probably where I'd set the over under. If you asked me to do it today, the way we talk about him, it kind of sounds like maybe he's going to go for 1,400. I think 700, and if he's a little above it, I think is a good place to put it.
Hey, Nick, I want to go back to the defense side of the football. DeMarco Jackson, he is somebody that coming out of App State, absolutely loved. He was an All-American. I don't think people realize that, and I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did in the draft. I saw a stat. He's the only FBS player in the 2000s that had a season that included 120 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 6 passes broken up. I mean, this is a very versatile linebacker, and I feel like he gets a little lost in the shuffle when we start talking about linebacker, and that's an issue for the Saints. But you have a guy in Jackson that was hurt last year. Like, what can you realistically expect from him?
Yeah, so I went and I rewatched his senior season this weekend, just going over it, trying to get a better feel for him, because I feel like he has been really overlooked. And like, man, the stuff downhill is really, really good. He is really fast into the backfield, really good instincts, sees the field well, makes a lot of plays. I think his blitzing ability is something that I personally overlooked coming into the league. He was really good on those. There was a lot of pressures, and it was just kind of like him going. Like, it wasn't super designed. Like, he was just kind of getting there. I think in this scheme with DA designing that stuff, some of the stuff they did for Hayden Ellis last year, I think there's some stack potential there for him to get on the field. It's going to be really interesting for me, because I think the battle, like if you have an injury to Werner or DeMario Davis, I think it's very easily Jackson going in. But I think there is a battle there for that Sam spot too in some of those snaps, especially in those third down packages. And I think a lot of people assume those are automatically going to go for Bond, because he does have that pass rush profile. But if Jackson can show you that he can do that, and then you pair it with, moderate coverage ability, I think seeing him in man-to-man is something I need to figure out a little bit more about. But if he can cover a little bit, I think it's much easier to get him on the field on third down, and he might be able to give you that same blitzing ability. I think he has a chance to be a really good third linebacker for this team. Like, we aren't talking about him like replacing or being the DeMario heir apparent or anything like that yet, but like a really good reserve/Sam linebacker. I think there's a chance for him to really actually be in that role this year. And I feel a lot better about the depth after seeing him on the field than I did this summer when it was like number one on my priority list.
New Orleans Football is a site. You have to go check it out. There's nowhere better to keep up with the New Orleans Saints if you are a New Orleans Saints fan. We got Nick Underhill. We got Mike Triplett on the squad, building an excellent team, hiring. Nick, do you want to plug your hire? What I saw it this morning, looking for a videographer or something?
Oh yeah, we just took a guy out NBA today, so from ESPN. Well, so yeah. Sorry, ESPN.
Never mind. Okay, never mind, guys. It's filled. But the point is, the team is growing over there at New Orleans Football, and you should go sign up. I'm a happy subscriber for years now. Nick, a lot of times I like to ask questions, conversations that I've kind of already had, but I like it filtered through other takers' lenses. And so I'll end on this. What was your take on bringing John Gruden in to kind of help with, seeing what Derek Carr does well, what kind of positions Gruden used to put him in? How do you kind of evaluate it all?
I mean, the football aspect of it makes sense. I think he's somebody that does a lot of things that the Saints need to do better. Like, their motion last year was horrible. And John Gruden, someone that really understands how to use motion. He knows Derek Carr. I think there's a lot of things that he can bring and impart some knowledge. I think the human being, I think there's some issues with that. I wouldn't want to be the people fully rehabilitating that person, but I think using him for a 3-day window, bringing him in at his lowest point, taking his knowledge and getting him out of there is great. But I just think, frankly speaking, like, I don't know what kind of work John Gruden is doing on himself as a human being. So, I don't want to get too deep into that, but like, until, not being able to see that side of it, like him being like an actual leader of men, is something that I don't think that he should have that privilege until, that stuff gets all cleared up, and I haven't seen it. So it's tough to judge it. So yeah, I think there's a moral issue there, but I think the way the Saints use them, I think it's okay as long as he's not like on the coaching staff, and it doesn't sound like he's going to be.
Yeah, it kind of, in a way, it does kind of feel like the beta test, like the soft relaunch of Gruden into the football atmosphere. It's kind of dipping the toe in the water, and then I'm sure he'll end up somewhere. Like we joked about the other day, he's going to be an LSU offensive analyst. Finally, all the John Gruden to LSU rumors are going to come true, boys. Nick, thank you so much, man. I know you got to go to practice, so we're going to let you go a little quicker today. New Orleans Football is a site. Go sign up. Go follow the YouTube channel. Brooke Kirkhofer and company doing excellent work there with their 3 days a week now, I believe, Nick? Am I wrong? Right?
3 days a week.
There we go, dude. So go sign up for the YouTube channel, sign up for the site. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right, have fun at practice. Look forward to hearing what you and Tripp spit out on the other side. Coming up next here in OTB, I mean, I might do a quick Google on this LIV PGA thing, see kind of what the deal is. I have a funny video that I kind of want to play, and somebody in the NFL is in trouble for gambling. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. N71.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Super Regional or Super Sad? Plus Glenn West and Sharif Ishak. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yeah, that's the good stuff, boy.
Where you at, like when you hear that song, like where's your head take you? I'm thinking on the lake, Cold Cruise Light, just enjoying the breeze as the boats, not full tilt. We're enjoying a nice little ride across the lake.
Hell yeah. It's always had a bit of a 80s drug movie, speedboat, Miami Vice vibe. Like this part. Too. Like this part right here.
Well, I just gave you the redneck version of Miami Vice on a speedboat.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like the sun's kind of setting, maybe the end of a long day.
Right.
I kind of want to have like sunglasses and a button up on driving a speedboat super fast.
I think of like driving a car for some reason. I don't know why.
Lame. Shut up, Taylor.
Well,
who are you?
It's what it is.
Get the hell out of here, okay? There's a reason why the power in your house is out.
It's like Step Brothers.
And it's your fault for having a bad opinion.
Dad, who's this guy?
Right. This guy. What's better, Boys of Summer or Boys of Fall?
Boys of Summer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Never forget, though, Les Miles, star of the Boys of Fall music video.
Yeah.
Les and Kenny used to be tight back in the day.
They were.
Peyton was in it as well.
That's right.
Sean Payton was in it.
Why did Kenny Chesney and Sean are real tight?
He was in it too.
Why does Kenny like Louisiana coaching so much? I love it, man.
I know.
Shout
Had
out
a picture
Kenny
with
Chesney.
BK the other day too, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
he probably spends a lot of time down there. Kenny Chesney and Peyton Manning are really good friends because they went to Tennessee together.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
he
they
may
went
come
to
down here all
Tennessee
the time. I don't know.
Okay, well, good. I hope Kenny's crying after this weekend. Do we have word on where that regional's going yet?
Southern Miss, I believe.
Oh, let's go. Sorry, Kenny Chesney. Sorry, Peyton Fanny. Sucks to be y'all. Manny Camp's going on pretty soon here, though. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had something typed up in the Manny Camp
The Hattiesburg Super Regional. Yeah, it's at Southern Miss.
Let's go. Screw you, Lindsey Nelson.
God, feels that place is going to be at an 11.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
And I almost like, if I
legendary coach.
If I didn't have 37,000 things, I would almost pop over there.
I'm hyped for the box this weekend too, because weather kind of screwed up the max capacity thing. Friday 2 p.m. game is weird. Supers, are you kidding me? You're about to get as good as the new box can get coming up this weekend. Manning Passing Academy is set to get underway in a couple of weeks. One of the most fun times that you can have partying in Thibodaux. Partying in Thibodaux is always awesome, but it's really cool when you're at Rox's and John Gruden's in the bar. I remember meeting Andrew Luck back in the day. We were both in college, and he was just as kind as you would have thought. I was oh, hey, man. I'm just having a great time down here.
I was there. I was a counselor of the year that Johnny Manziel was asked to go home.
Oh, wait, you were a counselor, so you actually worked the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Why? You don't play quarterback?
They do running backs there.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I don't think anybody knew that. I was there literally to party.
Okay.
I showed up right before the sun went down.
Yeah.
And went out to Rox's with the fellas because my little brother was there.
Johnny Manziel told me before the shenanigans that Matt Flynn was his hero growing up. He grew up in Tyler.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Flynn was his guy. He was a ball boy for Tyler Lee, maybe, I think, or something when Flynn was playing.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Work out.
It's also the camp where Eddie George thought I was Wes Welker. I told you that story.
I don't know if I remember that story, but I see where Eddie's coming from. It does from a
he saw me run a route. I get it.
When Phil, and then exactly right. But when filming a movie, right, directors and artistic, creative leads will talk about these things like shape language and silhouettes, and you want something that pops. And you and Wes Welker have a very similar shape language in your silhouettes, so I could see it. I've never seen you, pupils the size of dinner plates, rolling on Molly, leaving the Kentucky Derby with $50K in your pocket. But I don't know, man. You never know. Maybe that was you.
God, Wes was a lot of fun. He was teammates with me in Denver for a little bit.
To be clear, I would love to do that at Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, Wes and Cliff took me out on my visit to Texas Tech. They got it in back then as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Wes and Cliff Kingsbury. Wes Welker and Cliff Kingsbury are your hosts at Texas Tech?
Yeah, they beat Texas, who was number 2 in the country that night, too.
God. That's amazing, dude.
It didn't suck.
Jane Daniels and Nuss are going. Tulane's Michael Pratt going. You got Arch Manning, Quinn Ewers, Drake May, Michael Pennick, Shadur Sanders, Drew Allar, Joe Milton, Grayson McCall. Remember Austin Reed from West Kentucky throws 10,000 yards. Yeah. John Rice Plumlee, Cam Rising, Will Rogers. No Caleb Williams. He said he had scheduling conflict. You better kiss that Manning ring, Caleb.
The thing, so obviously, like, you know, it's a camp that has grown each and every year, and the top quarterbacks have always gone. And I don't know what the scheduling conflict is, so I'm not hating on Caleb Williams here, but it is a great time to go compete against the best.
Yeah.
And he's a Heisman Trophy winner, probably going to be the number one pick. I'm not saying that he's like running from competition, but it is once you get there, it is fun to watch that quarterback class and all the things they do that night to have their quarterback competition.
Yeah, the Friday night skills comp.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. I might go cover it this year for fun. We'll see. So PGA and LIV merged, and I'll be interested to read about this kind of the rest of the day. I'm not exactly sure the reasons why. I think they're saying it was to avoid like a monopoly type of lawsuit. I mean, in terms of not like the board game, like a literal monopoly, like antitrust sort of deal. However, reading a couple paragraphs just during the break, I'm going to say that the billions of dollars that the Saudi investment firm is about to invest in the new venture probably had something to do with it, which is very funny then, because the PGA took a very holier-than-thou stance. They pressured their players not to accept this dirty blood money. A lot of players said no, left. I mean, Will Zalatoris alone left $40 million on the table, and now they're merging with LIV. And now they themselves are taking billions of dollars in investment from the Saudis, and it's going to be a new for-profit organization, which, remember, technically the PGA was a non-profit, which is something they were clinging on to as to why they had to keep purses low. I don't understand the math of it all. I'm not enough of a golf guy, but... And again, painting with a broad brush here from the not the most educated standpoint, I do feel I'd be more than a little pissed off if I was one of the ones who tried to stay loyal to the PGA, denied millions, and now the PGA's like, you know what, actually, they're cool, guys. You're cool. And now everybody who left and we revoked their tour card, they get their tour card back next year. So I don't know.
I mean, you're talking about...
Has anybody checked on Hunt Palmer? To make sure he's okay.
No, I haven't heard Hunt speak on this. Is he a big anti-LIV guy?
Oh, he is a big anti-LIV guy. He said it destroyed the PGA. It was bad for the sport. They play like 4 tournaments a year and all. The Hunt hated LIV.
Let's be clear. The LIV product does suck.
Yeah. But
it's
Hunt
impossible to find. It's 54 holes.
CW.
Exactly. I don't know what channel the CW is, bro.
Pac-12 does.
Hell, I don't know when I watched live TV that wasn't a sport. Was like, I think I put something on somewhere. We were somewhere with my kids the other day, and we had to watch live TV, and they could not conceptually understand commercials. They were like, "Hold on, we can't just like, well, what are these? We can't just go forward. We have to sit and wait." I was like, "Yeah, that's how that's how TV used to work." So yeah, no, I'd be. I don't know. I think I'd be pretty pissed. Also, I mean, it shows that everybody has a price, right?
It does.
You can act higher and mightier and holier than thou, Saudi blood
got a
money
number.
and everything else, but if they throw billions at you, you're going to get on your knees and you're going to sports wash for them, and that's exactly what the PGA is now doing.
I mean, these are two entities that have sued each other in court. You know what I mean? Like, so this is like bad relationship, and all of a sudden now, what was it? I think it was... Greg Norman and 11 of its players did sue the PGA in federal court last year, and then the PGA filed a countersuit alleging that LIV Golf had, interfered with contracts with its current players and did it in bad faith and all. So it was messy.
Yeah, no, it's
incredibly messy.
Well, and also like now again, Greg Norman and Phil were right. Their whole thing was getting the PGA to pay players more and competition in the space and all this stuff. And it worked. Like with flying colors. Yeah, I think the purses are about to be huge, Gulf South. I agree. It's wild, man. Really wild. Joe Blanc says, tell your kids how back in the day you only had 70 channels. Yeah, man. Back in my day, you used to watch stuff live on satellite.
It was like, we didn't have satellite. We were balling on a budget. We had like 30-something channels, though. Our TV in the kitchen was a black and white TV, and I think it was just left over. So my dad's like, hey, I'll throw it in the kitchen. and it had like the old dial that had 9 channels on it.
That was the one that I had in my room, the first one.
Channel 5 in Shreveport growing up was HBO.
What?
So we had HBO on a black and white TV because the dial would go to 5.
And you just got it for free
felt
because like it
a
was
big
some
win.
like old
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Felt
man.
like a big win.
That's a massive win. Are you kidding me? Especially like around midnight of Friday. Like,
No,
when,
see,
like real sex is on.
See, HBO didn't go like that. On a Friday, if you knew HBO's lineup, like Rucker Howard was on there, some action movie on Friday night.
Add them to the list. Real sex and Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah,
Yep.
we threw that out there the other day.
Oh,
I think
did
it
we?
was.
Okay, my bad.
I think Taylor threw out Taxi Cab
Really?
Confessions.
He doesn't know
It was after the show. He threw it out there after the show. Right?
I've seen Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah.
Maybe. I call this into question. First time I ever saw something on a Real Doll was on Real Sex, actually, way back in the day. Pretty ahead of the curve. Saw a post the other day where a guy had like the Real Dolls, what those are? Very realistic sex dolls. But he had his real doll with a real baby and did like a whole like photo shoot like he had just had a kid. It was very exciting. You know, man, live your truth, man. I ain't even hating. That's cool, man.
T-Bob, how did you get there?
Do your thing. You know, the internet, man. You never know. You never know what's waiting around the corner.
Casey, I'd like to say that this isn't a typical conversation on OTB at 9 o'clock, but I'd be lying.
Also, why did Hunt and Musso yesterday look like they worked in the 1970s?
Oh, you talking about with the gold polos?
Yes.
I don't know. And
They
it's
just
funny.
looked like so anachronistic.
So
they were out of
Moscona
time.
took that picture.
Yeah.
Matt had a gold shirt on too.
Oh,
It
no,
wa-
I know.
he
I know.
did. You're right.
It was a button down, but he had a gold shirt on.
did have a
too.
gold shirt on.
I don't think he was like who the hell wears gold. I think he was trying to be like, we're an LSU workplace because we wear gold on championship day. I don't know, but I just was laughing because some of the hairstyles, the stances, Moose and Hunt just looked like
They do
they were
remind me of
straight
each
out of
other.
the late
Yeah.
70s or something.
If
It was
Musso
wild.
was taller, like they even kind of look similar.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I had a girl that I call. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat. Oh, sorry. That's what I think of when I think of. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I agree. Ivy Hebert, if T-Bob's kids don't know commercials, they don't watch this show. True, they don't, and they don't.
Fair.
When we get back, Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Visitor, Tilton, Blue Moon, Lights, Guys, Stitches, Week.
OTB, OT.
225-206-1517, 225-206-1517. That's Thomas' email, cell phone number. You call today, and Thomas is going to get you straight, man. Him and Megan email, the father-daughter combo that is taking the insurance world by storm. But actually, I mean, you go look at Riverlands as a whole. You're talking about fast-growing insurance, one of the fast-growing insurance companies in the South. They are from Louisiana, so they understand this market better than anyone. And the bottom line is, whether it's auto, home, business, whatever insurance you need, they do the shopping. They find the best policy. All you do is call 225-206-1517.
And that's anywhere in the state of Louisiana. So we've talked about being on in Shreveport in the future. Well, we're talking to you. We're talking to West Monroe. We're talking to Lake Chuck, Lafayette, Alexandria, Newark. Like wherever you are listening to us in the state of Louisiana, you can call Thomas. You can do it right now. He's going to pick up the phone and he's going to help you out today. 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR. The Tigers advance. We start taking a look at the Baton Rouge Super Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" father.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
See, T-Bob, this is where your Beavis and Butthead blind spot. I was about to go there. I forgot you got a little bit of a blind spot there.
Yeah. All I know is, Cornelia.
Yeah, this was a great video that they broke down. I used to love it. They play a music video, they break it down, they talk throughout it, they point things out.
It's some of the original React content.
Yeah.
React content is massive on YouTube. I think about it all the time. Radio's kind of React content, though. I mean, we do a lot of custom stuff where we're just, coming up with our own conversational points. But as often as not, we're also like, ooh, this is a very interesting article. I want to filter it through my lens and kind of regurgitate a lot of the information from it. Man, I can't believe the PGA still. That's crazy, bro. Like, they made people say a lot of things that can't be taken back, demanding loyalty, and then turn around like, you know what, actually, they cool now, bro.
Right. I feel like if I cared about golf at all, like, this would be, like,
be angry,
massive, because, like, I have feelings towards it, and I don't care for golf at all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what? This is kind of screwed up.
RejuveMedical.com, store me, refuel me, Rejuve. Ask about semaglutide next time you're in there. That's a metabolization optimization. Chances are someone who looks great, their body's changed, they look wonderful, maybe they're on it. Just go have the conversation, get the consultation, see what's you. Maybe HRT, hormone replacement therapy, is going to get you where you want to go. The bottom line, they're going to customize a plan for you, and I don't care if you're here in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, or now in Shreveport, there's Rejuve Medical right there for you. All right, now it's time for Ask the Bench, brought by Cole Kershaw here at Social Blue Moon Lights, guys. Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. It's the anniversary of D-Day. It is. Wow, it is.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have you been to the World War II Museum? I've probably been about 6 or 7 times.
I haven't been that many.
I've dove, I probably average about 4 hours a visit. So, yeah, I'm probably at about somewhere around 25 to 30 hours in the museum. I love
that's
that
big
place.
because you're more of a World War I.
Well,
like,
I mean,
not fan. That sounds weird, but
no. It's I find World War I to be
it intrigues you.
Yeah,
more than 2, which usually it's 2 for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean 2's definitely the most impactful. 1's just weird because it was the time when it was like, let's line up and shoot one another, mashed up with oh, now we have machine guns and giant cannons and bombs, and it's just like, so it was like the old school. It was just awful. I mean, it's horrific. It's all awful. World War II is awful. But the museum is incredible, and it pays worthy tribute.
Yeah.
To think about it, we have a top 10 museum in the world in New Orleans. That's weird to think about. Ask the bench, who used to watch Tiger Vision scrambled and envision what was happening off of what Jim was saying.
Well,
really
T-Ball was watching something else that was scrambled. It wasn't Tiger Vision.
Is that a nipple? Spice Channel. Yeah, no, about that, Taylor. Ask the bench, does Will Wade and McNeese have a better basketball team than LSU next year? No. Right? No.
No,
Why?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, Will's gonna coach him up now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a better squad than they had this year.
I will say this.
Believe you me.
Sad way that life works out that Wade was not here for the NIL era.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been all good. It would have been all good. Ask the bench, is the English muffin the fullback of breakfast? Dependable, gets the job done. Not necessarily cast into a starring role too many times, but
not as versatile maybe as a bagel or like a biscuit.
I was about to say it's got versatility, right? Because I'll eat a McMuffin, I'll eat it with just jelly, I'll eat it with just butter, I'll eat it with maybe even like a little cane syrup on it.
You put it on like eggs Benedict and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's what I'm
that. You put the
saying.
egg over top of it. Yeah.
It's never the star.
It might be too versatile.
It's never the star, but it's like a Kyle Juice chick. It's getting a lot done in a lot of different ways.
Juice chick.
Yeah, what did I say? Juice chick?
Yeah.
Juice
is
chick.
silent.
Yeah.
It sounds like a.
Sorry, I just
Yeah,
love
you
the
know.
Jews chicks. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Were you guys WWF or WCW back then? I was WCW. Goldberg, Rey Mysterio, NWO, all that.
Like
Loved
Razor
it.
Ramon. Are you here to see WCW or the NWO?
Love y'all.
See you
We
tomorrow.
will see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge and take control of your comfort zone today. AccutempBR.com is the website. When you work with Accutemp, you're going to get service to the highest degree. Okay, it's a great pun, to be fair, but it's also true. They walk the walk. Go look at the online reviews; that'll prove it. And then when you experience it for yourself, you're like, "Wow, T-Bob was right." Huh, imagine that, guys. So look, ask about the Star Club membership while you're in touch, and they kind of stay on top of you. Make sure you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. Remember, right now, great deals going on whole home generators. Go to AccutempBR.com.
Once you get to the website, remember you can schedule right there online. I did it during a show a couple of weeks ago. I needed to set up an appointment and obviously couldn't pick up the phone because we're doing the show. It's okay. Schedule everything online and they can come in and they'll get it done probably that day as well. Go to the website, AccutempBR.com.
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Oshner Health. Long live you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour